YouTube.
YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Today, we are going to be doing some... Do you want to show some of the pictures?
Yeah,
we're going to be doing lighting anime heads.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Colton sent me a bunch of pictures with a bunch of lighting scenarios of our lovely head models.
Yep. Is everything...
Ooh, look at that.
Good. Bear, Fico Riggs, Michi, Chronically Row. Hello, welcome.
Hey, Michi.
How is everybody doing today?
Look at that. Look at the lovely lighting scenarios that Colton took of these heads. We're going to be covering head lighting today, or lighting anime heads today, which is going to be super fun. We've always wanted to do this one. Because it's like a kind of like a partial study and also teaching stream.
Yep. Although we're probably not going to do the male head that much.
No.
It's going to be more of the anime-ish ones.
Yeah.
Hey, Stardust, Luna's, Allie.
Ooh, like
Scribble Mouse, how's it going?
This one's great.
That's fun. A lot of fun, different lighting angles. Yeah, I just put some of our 3D printed anime heads that we made.
I love this one.
On our shelf, and I just like got a little flashlight and lit them from a bunch of different angles. So, yeah.
I think
nice.
My favorite one is the teen male head.
Kayla Okami, really?
Kayla.
Welcome back.
The Kayla.
Chubb, Diego, the Unknown, little bear face, Snaz. It's been 8 years since I've seen my son. How is everybody doing? I hope y'all doing good. Sculpted your own anime head. Nice.
Yeah.
Lau, hello. Who are you doing after June anyways?
I'm going to guess it's going to be Tira.
Probably Tira.
Most likely Tira. Got a lovely head here. So, lighting anime heads. Do you want to wait a little bit and then before we start the lesson, or do you want to just go hopping straight right into it?
Oh, I don't care. It's up to you. We can say hi for a little bit.
Sure. Maybe I'll warm up a little bit.
Yeah. How is everybody doing today?
You know, I wonder if I should do like front view lighting instead of 3/4. 3/4 is always a nice dynamic feel. Maybe we can like translate
Tira or Naomi can't decide.
Ooh, honestly, I've never seen Naomi in your style, Lau. I think that would pique my curiosity. You can do whichever though.
I mean, she's gonna do Naomi anyways at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I don't know if you remember me, but I was Kowalski. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that.
Awesome.
Only 232 likes. Let me fix that. Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah, I actually need to ping the entire Discord and let everybody know that we're going live this weekend.
Yeah, we're doing a 10-hour this weekend, aren't we? I totally forgot too.
Forget this.
It's called my own anime. That's great. How many hours did y'all sleep last night?
A lot.
A lot.
Hey everyone. I can pull this over to here for now.
Thank you, Ann Lee, for the follow.
How's it going?
How's everyone doing?
What's everybody up to? Kitties are in the other room sleeping probably.
Yeah.
We need to get one of them on this bed in here.
We just need Poppy to come in here. Poppy has a following mood sometimes.
She can do her own thing.
Yeah.
She does her own thing. But your sketchbook is over here.
Oh, it is. It is over here. Hey, Atusa. Hey, Ginny. Yeah, we're doing good.
Doing great. Awesome.
I heard y'all got another kitty.
Watched the VOD from a stream I missed the other day. You mentioned the 10-hour and the challenge you were doing. Do you know what the prompt is yet? I think we know, but y'all aren't going to know until the stream starts. We are not going to announce the prompt until we actually start the stream.
Yeah.
It's going to be a during stream art challenge. Ba ba ba. Yes. It's the famous ba ba ba. So I feel like with drawing anime heads, it's really important to know a couple things about shading and lighting. I can actually.
You can go. You want to switch?
Just really
do it.
quick.
In fact, you may end up doing most of this. Which I think is more.
No, I think I'll just do a little bit of it.
Sure.
So when it comes to lighting anime heads, you have to understand rendering a little bit.
Rendering primitive forms.
Yeah, and now rendering. How do I? Okay. So when it comes to rendering, here's a sphere. And we're going to get a core shadow. So when the light is coming in, let's just say we've got a light coming in from the front, a little bit from the front, all right? Now, there's going to be a core shadow, and there's going to be a lit side, and there's going to be a shaded side.
Someone's asking what happened to your hand.
Toby decided to become Mufasa on my arm. That is what happened. He decided to do the whole scene, the scene with what's his name, Scar and Mufasa. Yeah. He's a little lunatic dude.
He's a goblin.
But yeah, so right, a sphere is going to have a core shadow, and now since this anime style, we're mostly going to do cell shaded, but at the end of the day, right, we're going to have the core. All right, and now the thing about cores is they appear whenever a form turns away from the light. All right.
I have a little question. Feel free to ask, although we're mainly going to be doing lighting heads.
There we go.
Today.
And now we're going to have a core and a shaded side and a lit side. And we could put a little bit of a turning edge there if we want. All right, there's that. And so what ends up happening is... What's a good breakdown for... Okay, yeah. Okay, so if we have a cylinder, let's draw a little bit bigger.
What's the best brand for drawing in terms of tablets and pens?
People have different preferences.
People do have different
Wacom's really good. Huion XP Pen, they're all good. I've never seen bad reviews of any of them.
Yeah.
Except Wacom tends to have bad reviews sometimes. Every once in a while, I think Wacom's wildly the most popular amongst professionals. And so whenever something's more popular, you tend to see more bad reviews just because there's more people.
Yeah.
But
we both have Wacom tablets and stuff, and they're, they never really get that annoying.
In the last number of years, a couple other brands have come in and really made some good stuff.
Yeah.
So if we have a light source, right, we've got, and I'm just kind of doodling this out so we can refer to it later. It's not really so much. So this is the direction of my light coming down, all right? Like that. Where this form turns away from the light is where you're going to get your core, all right? So this form is wrapping around here. And at this line, at this point where the form actually starts to wrap away from the light, that's where you get your core shadow. And this is really important. This is a really, really important thing.
Pop art.
So we go here, and then all of this down here is going to be in shadow. And all of this up here is going to be in light. And of course, this is parallel to our light source, so that's going to be dark. And then this is going to be our cast.
How coincidental. I'm trying to learn how to paint, and this shows up. Awesome.
Awesome. Welcome. We'll put a little...
Wacom used AIR to promote the tablet, so people started hating on it.
Oh, no.
I live under rocks.
No, Wacom has had a bunch of people that have hated them for a long time. Long before AI was ever a thing. Their software's buggy. Their drivers can be buggy and cause issues and stuff. But they've I think been around kind of the longest.
I would say try maybe a lower budget and just see how you like it, because I know the XP Pen and Huion are more budget friendly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like it. A lot of people in our community use it.
There we go. That is basically, and now this isn't like a accurate rendered cylinder. If you want to see some accurate rendered cylinders, you can look at a previous stream. Where the heck is that?
One.
Where's the cylinders that I did?
Oh, I think it's in here. But I think it's in a different layer.
Oh, there's a group. Oh, there we go. If you want to see some more accurately rendered cylinders, you can go look at this from a previous stream. This was from the last live stream we did. You can go to our YouTube channel, Draw Anime Academy. I talked about rendering cylinders in different materials, shiny and stuff like that. But this one is more diagrammatic, where this is very important. This is your core. Right? Here is a shadow. Like the shadow side. And here is a cast shadow. So, anime heads are a lot more complicated than a simple cylinder. The neck is mostly a cylinder, but look, you can see behind the ear, here's a cast shadow. You can see here, this form is turning away from the light. Look, the pen, cast shadow. So the shadow will fall across the surface of that form, right? And so when form turns away from the light, what ends up happening is it gets darker. Now we have lights all over the place. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. And so this gets really, really, really diffused. So we actually took these pictures earlier with just one light source. And we're going to be going through some of these.
One of my favorite lighting scenarios has to be like that rim light. And that one. Yeah, because it's very commonly used. And also maybe like a top. Yeah.
So you can see light source on the left. Core shadow going along the form of the face.
If you squint.
And then this side is getting all of that nice bounce.
Yeah.
All of that. You can see your core shadow is the darkest.
If you squint, you'll see it.
Yep.
Like that nice dark edge.
Light, core, bounce. All right? And so what we want to... And another thing is... So let's say we have a cylinder, but we can like mush this cylinder up a little bit, all right? And so we can go do something like
rendering modified forms.
Yeah, like we can kind of modify this form. And let's just say it has like a
bowling
nub
pin
at the end. Yeah, maybe how about that? Let's just do like a bowling pin. So we're going to do a bowling pin instead. I don't really remember exactly what they look like. They kind of look like this.
Here you go. Here you go.
Except I think that the head of them is larger, and it gets a little thinner there. Yeah. So there's that, and then we'll come up around there.
How on earth do you do colors? I would say learn this part first.
Yes, color is
relative.
Color is largely up to however you just feel like doing it. Value is how we see the world. Color is not nearly as important as people think it is. Not as far as seeing things goes. So now we could look at this from the bottom, where this is the wrapping line. Or we could look at it from the top, where this is the wrapping line. Doesn't actually matter that much. This is just a silhouette. So if we're going to cast a shadow across this, we can actually make a core.
You guys helped my art blog. Now I'll look like the cool artist for school. Awesome.
So let's draw two spheres, all right? Let's draw big sphere and little sphere. So big sphere has a core. Little sphere has a core. All right? We got a shadow side. We got a shadow side on both of them. All right? This core is going to be larger. I'm not going to make it that dark. But this core is going to be a little bit larger. All right? I don't ever really use the smudge tool, but maybe I'll just use it a little bit right now. So, and this core is going to be smaller because it's a smaller sphere. And then what we're essentially going to do is we're just going to go through here and zoop.
Ooh, connect
zoop,
it.
Connect that up. And then what ends up happening is this gets treated like a cylinder. And we've just rendered a cylinder up here, right? So we're essentially going to get a core that bridges the gap between these.
Oh, I really like that. That's perfect.
All right. So this is how we're going to render an anime face, essentially, is the anime head is a complicated form of interconnected, sharper, less sharp, round, like the back of the head is very round. And so when you get something like this, look at this. Larger core shadow right here, smaller core shadow by the chin. Look how much smaller that core shadow is right here than it is up on the top. It's a larger area.
Surface area.
So you're basically getting this sort of thing going on. And with the bowling pin, what's up?
Hi, I want to start digital art. Do you think I need to buy iPad or other tablets?
I mean, if you're starting digital art, you'll have to have some way to do digital art, but it's really up to you. Everything works. I love the iPad. So
sometimes you hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great tool. I hate drawing on it compared to what I'm used to drawing on.
Yeah.
But that's just because I'm not used to it. Okay, core. Right, we're gonna get a core. Actually, let's make this a little bit further this way so it looks better. Larger core, smaller core, larger core, and then it's gonna slowly start to get a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna map this out, and that core is kind of gonna wireframe. Is gonna trace the contour of my bowling pin. Right, so it's kind of gonna go like that. As if, imagine there's like a wireframe around this. That light is going to hit this form, and this form is going to turn away from it. So in here, I'm going to have a little bit thinner of a core, and out here, I'm going to get a little bit thicker of a core. And then this is going to be a little bit thicker, and then it's going to get a little bit thinner. And so essentially, if you've ever done figure drawing classes or figure lighting classes with like charcoal, you'd learn this a lot.
Yeah, actually, was it Dan that we met last time when he was in Arizona?
What about it?
He was talking about like how they would draw like a really sharp core and then they would just smudge it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You do that with oil paint a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Right, so there we go. And then right before the core, you're going to start to get some of that turning away.
Wow.
And, you know, cores are sort of rendered like that. So the larger the form, the larger the core, the thinner the form, the thinner the core. And that's going to be really, really important because if you're rendering anime heads, again, sharper core, less sharp core, it gets a little bit sharper again, not as sharp of a core. And that's just the...
What is a core in this context? I wasn't there when this was explained.
A core shadow is where the form turns away from the light. It's a shadow. And the reason the core looks like it does is because... let's just use blue right here. So we've got the light coming down and hitting this. We've got the ground bouncing the light up and hitting in here. And this core is actually pointed towards where it's receiving the least amount of light. So that's why it's the darkest. And that's why, like, planets in space and stuff, there's no bounce light. So the side that's dark is just pitch black, like the moon, right?
Yeah, these can be either the core or the Terminator.
Yep.
Or both terms are correct.
The both terms are completely acceptable. So, and there's that, and there's that. Okay, now what we can do is basically, if we have something that's sharp.
You want to add onto one of those forms?
What?
Do you want to add like a sharp form on top of the
Yeah, well, we can just go and do something like this, and then maybe we can do something like that. To where a round form turns into a point. This happens a lot. In figure drawing, this would be like a, like a bony protrusion or a bony landmark or something, you get to your elbow or your clavicle or something.
Or your wrist.
Core is easier to remember than Terminator. It's already a lot.
Yeah.
It's already a lot for chat. So, anyways, let's say that there's light coming and hitting this, crossing this, come into this direction, right? You're going to get a core up in here, right? And then this is going to get sharper and sharper until this is basically rendered like the side of the box, right? Like the side of a box.
So basically, when it comes to cylindrical form, the core shadow is generally softer, but as it gets sharper, as the form turns into more of a box, it gets sharper.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, if you render a box, the edges are pretty sharp.
Yeah.
The edges,
Oh, might want to move that over there.
If you're like rendering a box or something, these edges are going to be pretty sharp, 90 degree, a 90 degree turn. And then essentially this is going to be that. And you're going to get this nice sharp edge right here.
Very nice.
Yep. Like that. And that really creates a believable enough, you know. And then of course you could have a cast shadow. The cast shadow would come off of this, assuming the light's going that direction.
Hey, Knoxville?
Let's just do like that, right? And we can always fill this with the cast shadow. And I'm not going to talk too much about those right now, but they do tend to be darker. And the reason that cast shadows are darker is they're facing up, and you've blocked your primary light source. So cast shadows actually tend to be a bit darker.
Interesting.
Because they're not really receiving a lot of bounce. In fact, if you've ever studied figure drawing and figure painting, cast shadows tend to be a little bit darker. Core shadows, again, think about it, right? This is pointed that direction. This cast shadow is pointed that direction. So they're going to be a similar value. What's up?
Make it a little bit smaller. I didn't see the arrow right there.
Okay. Like that sort of thing. But with cell shading, like we're probably mostly going to talk about like cell shading and everything. But these are important because if you were to cell shade this like bowling pin, you would just have a strong line.
Strong line for a shadow.
Yeah, it would just be a value.
I think I should be taking notes. Yeah, Kayla.
That would just go around that, and you can just use something, whatever.
Like one value.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Nope.
It doesn't work. It never does.
No, not for this kind. I don't know why. Procreate's kind of picky when it comes to those
there you
things.
Go. But anyways, we'll just we'll draw some wrapping lines around this. There we go. I'm sure there's a reason.
You forgot the shadow in the form? Huh?
There we go. What? Forgot the shadow in the form. I'm not going to do all that right now. This isn't a rendering lesson. We're just covering some of the basics. Again, if you want to go back to a previous stream, I explained rendering cylinders with different materials. If you want to get more in depth, in a previous stream, I did this. You can watch the whole thing. It's from, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago or whatever. But today we're specifically talking about doing some anime head lighting. So I'm just recapping a little bit of the basics. But we have a bunch of past streams on more in-depth rendering, color, values, shading, materials, rendering a bunch of primitive forms, glossy, speculars, in the middle, matte, and that kind of stuff. But anyways, this, for now, is all twisted for some reason. I tend to rotate my canvas as I go.
Yeah. Oh, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. I always do tilted horizons. There we go. So that kind of just lays out the basics there. And now we can go into your
yeah, sure.
Your stuff.
Switch. Let's hope I don't bump the camera.
Don't.
I won't. I'm trying to keep an eye on it.
Ah, Tuna, hello.
Hey, Tuna. So let's I've always liked this head shape right here, the teen male head shape, because I feel like it's like a...
Yeah, teen male head feels pretty good.
I think that just feels really good. So I would say, if you want to break it down, lighting is basically sculpting form. So what I mean by that is, if you are ever like a photographer, it's not necessarily the subject that you're focused on, it's the lighting of the subject. So like a lot of photographers would pay a lot of attention to how they light their subject. So they are like, okay, how do I want the light to wrap around this form? Because if I only have my subject but no light, it's going to be, you know, kind of not as attractive, right? So the light makes things more attractive. And I would say my favorite lighting scenario, just to use like for like general character design, is general front lighting. This general front top lighting, which is like a butterfly lighting scenario. So that is, I would say, like a really good one.
Oh, by the way, lighting forms is really important. I don't see a lot of artists talk about it, but yes, photography. There's actually a YouTube channel I really, really recommend. It's called The Slanted Lens. The Slanted Lens.
Oh, The Slanted Lens. Okay.
The Slanted Lens. It's a photography channel. It's a guy who studied photography at Art Center. He's been a professional photographer for a really, really long time. He lights all kinds of things, humans, vehicles, products. He actually has a series called The Laws of Light, and he talks about a lot of this same stuff. And as artists, we need to think about this stuff because we're basically product photographers. We're portrait photographers. You're just not taking the photo, you're drawing it, like you're imagining it.
So this is one of the very common lighting scenarios, which is butterfly lighting. And the reason why is because generally towards the bottom of the nose, now this is an anime nose, might look a little bit different, you will generally see this kind of little shape that looks like a kind of like a butterfly, I guess. So you'll see that characteristic shape at the bottom of the nose. So it's very, very popular and very versatile to use.
Yeah, butterfly lighting is gorgeous.
I love it.
The reason it's called butterfly lighting is because there's a shadow that you don't see it on the anime boy because it's a different type of nose.
Yeah.
But there's a little shape of a shadow that forms underneath of the nose that looks like a little butterfly, and that's what they call butterfly lighting. And
it's actually a pretty diffused light. It can be diffused lighting as well. It's nothing super harsh. So let's just draw a head right here. I'm keeping in mind of my general forms and my proportions. I'm not going to talk too much about proportions today because that just takes way too long. But what I make sure to do for front view is keeping things pretty symmetrical. So I draw my center line and I just make sure that my features match size-wise and distance-wise. And I think something that I wish I learned earlier was how shadows are how the eyes are also affected by the shadows. I used to think that eyes didn't really have any kind of sort of lighting to them, but if you look at them closely, you'll actually see a bit of a core shadow even on the top lid or on the top part of the eye, and that is because the lid casts a shadow on there, which I think is interesting. People miss that detail
all the time on anime.
Yeah.
Just they pretty much always put it in, I would say.
Yeah. Here's basic face, and maybe I will also draw some.
Hello, Kobe.
Here.
Hope you both are doing well. We're doing great.
Yeah.
We are doing good. Hope you're doing good.
All right, let's duplicate this multiple
Pop
times.
Arc, hello, welcome as well. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.
Let me move all of these. Oops. Let's move this down. And then I'll duplicate these. So we'll do maybe 4 if we can find some. So the most common type of lighting is butterfly lighting, as we mentioned before. And I really recommend that anytime you're lighting a head, actually draw a 3-dimensional arrow to show where the light is coming from. This can be, I like to use like a red arrow, and I just like to point it like this. The reason why it's a cone is because light is 3-dimensional, right? It's not flat like this. This is not really showing me any direction. This is showing me more direction. It's coming from the front, and we're seeing the bottom of the cylinder as it's facing, so the information is the light is up somewhere up here. That's why I like putting the arrow there. I used to not put an arrow at all, and then it would always mess up my lighting scenario because I didn't really know where the light was. So based off of this, we have light or a shadow cast in the eyebrows. You'll see this general kind of triangular shape right in here. You'll see a shadow at the bottom of the nose, and you'll see as the form goes away from the light, things start actually becoming more of like a gradient. So the bottom part of the face actually becomes slightly darker. So you can
the light fall off.
Light fall off, yeah. So this will be really, really bright. Then as it goes away from the light, it'll gradually get darker. Inside the ear will generally have shadow, as well as the top of the eyeballs. Pretty simple. And then the neck, I generally like to just simplify the whole neck in shadow because it's just, it has a nice graphical shape. Or you can just go like this if you want. Totally fine. But I find that just covering this in shadow looks really nice. Good graphical shape.
That's nice, Kobe. Have been learning how to draw head's face lately. Awesome.
And also, when it comes to this lighting, things as they go towards the edges will also have a bit of a shadow. So if you look at the edge, you'll see that there's a slight shadow as the light is turning away from that form as well. So here's a sphere. Here is sort of similar to like a very, very soft triangular box, I guess, because the bottom of the jaw is kind of shaped like this, or the bottom of the head is kind of shaped like this. It's kind of boxy, but it's also kind of triangular. So I'm rendering it similarly to this. Now let's move on to another lighting scenario. Oh, this one's really good. This is another really common one, which is the Rembrandt lighting. Rembrandt is a painter, and the way how he lights his head is he has it at a diagonal, kind of like a top lighting diagonally, and then therefore it creates a little triangle that's very characteristic of his pieces. So that's why it's called Rembrandt lighting.
Will, I'm gonna mute you if you keep being annoying in the chat.
So notice that when you're looking at this head, this is very similarly shaded like a sphere. So there's that core and it wraps around.
Nice, cool.
This is shaded kind of similar to a box, so you see a harder edge. And all this is generally rounder, and this is rounder. So just keep in mind of those edges. So here, light comes from the top left. Here's my core. It's almost like half lighting, but it's like a little bit more, there's a little bit more light showing. And what I like to do is I just mark out or just map out all of my shadows, keeping in mind of their forms, where the direction of light is. So the more diagonal your light is, the more diagonal your shadows will be. So you'll see this nice
dramatic lighting.
Lighting, yeah. That nice line in there.
Love dramatic lighting
So much. That's fun. Yeah, Lau, you're actually really good at dramatic lighting as well. Fun.
So there's a nice little map, and then all you have to do is just shade this.
Hey, half piece, how's it going? Stardust, week 1. So this is a little extra helpful. Awesome.
Or you're on week 1 on Anime Art School. That's great. So yeah, looks really nice. And then because the light is kind of diagonally from the top, cast shadow on the neck will also have a diagonal direction.
As someone who's fairly new to art, what would you guys recommend I try to learn first?
It depends on what you want to get better at, but I mean, generally foundation. If you want to get good, if you just want to draw for fun and it doesn't really matter, you know, you can just do whatever you want. But if you want to become like a professional artist, you'd want to learn foundation.
So something to keep in mind is that this triangle is not completely straight. Please don't make a straight line like this. It's actually slightly curved because the face is curved. So really curve this edge right here, and that'll make it feel a lot rounder.
What's the live about? This live specifically is on lighting anime heads from different angles. We've had a couple requests to do this in the past, and it's honestly just fun. It's a fun little simple stream.
Don't forget the ears. This ear will be in shadow because this head is casting shadow onto the ear. So we won't see any light on this side, but we will see light on this side because that's where the light direction is. So there is Rembrandt lighting.
Do we have a video on this topic? Not on our YouTube or TikTok. We have a class that has this in it.
Yeah, let me just show it really quick. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, some basic forms of this is in the heads and faces and expressions class. But
we'll probably make a
male and female.
We'll probably make a YouTube video on it in the future.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
By the way, we are holding a 20% off on our Anime Art School.
Yes.
Which is actually going to be ending this weekend. So
we're doing a big 10-hour long live stream. If you want to learn the fundamentals like perspective, backgrounds, color theory, character design, anatomy, all that kind of stuff. If you've been looking for somewhere to learn that, we have a big class, big school online that teaches a lot of those foundations. Both of us have been doing this for a long time, teaching it a lot to a bunch of different people, and we made an online school.
Yeah.
And a bunch of students going through the school right now. Is it in either of your books? Yeah, book 1 has some of this.
Yeah, has some of it. Actually, yeah, I think there is. Let me go look. This is our book, book 1.
Yep, book Volume 1.
I think lighting is probably in the later sections. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Head lighting.
Got some head lighting in there.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about lighting heads from different angles, rendering primitive forms, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's in book volume 1, Anime Academy, How to Draw Manga.
Go. Another lighting that's pretty common.
Thank you, half piece.
Looks like Agent 47. Is that from?
Is that from Hitman?
Hitman. Yeah. Got the
That's
ball.
funny. Easiest lighting?
I wouldn't. I'd say the simplest lighting that it just works with a lot of illustrations is this one, butterfly lighting. Because it's just generally like a top front lighting, and the main shadows that you get is on the neck, the brow, and the nose. But I would say this one is a very dynamic one that a lot of people like to use.
I mean, all lighting describes form, so you can't really do any lighting without understanding the form of what you're drawing.
Yeah.
So, easiest lighting, I don't really know if there is an easiest lighting. Maybe just, you're like, you have to understand the form of whatever you're lighting to light it in anyway.
Yeah.
So I think they're all pretty similar. There's like lighting that you're used to seeing. Like, you don't usually see people's faces lit from the bottom.
No.
So people tend to find that a bit harder.
Yeah. You can see a lot of lighting from the top, though. And actually, I feel like there's a few examples in this later.
Yeah.
So this is half lighting. I personally don't use half lighting that much. But it exists. It's basically the light is on the side and the shadow and the light are kind of like split half and half.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if some people know how to use this lighting, it works really, really well.
Yeah.
But I would say kind of be careful with this one because it can make your face look like Two-Face or like have one, I don't know, look a little bit awkward, but it still works.
Half light 3 confirmed.
Half-Light 3.
Yeah, I don't really see people use half lighting that much.
Most
it's kind
people,
of like a specific.
Yeah. Like most people will use Rembrandt if they want to have something more dynamic but also show like part light, part dark.
Rembrandt's very common.
Yeah. It is so common. And if you don't use it because you think it's too common, just use it.
Is the model head in the picture available to buy? It will eventually be. We have a bunch of them. We modeled these and 3D printed them ourselves. So this is the teen male. Where's other ones? Here's an adult male. We got an adult female. And these are all kind of pushed towards anime style. That's what we teach. Mm-hmm. That's what we like doing, and that's what we teach. Teen female. We have a chibi one as well. These will eventually be available. We're running a bunch of test prints right now.
Here's one with a wireframe wrapped around it. I find that looks really helpful too.
Yeah. But I would say you can join the Discord server if you want to keep updated on it. It's not ready yet. We're going to have a head drawing and lighting class, and then we're going to have these available to purchase. We actually just got the boxes in that we're going to ship them in.
Yeah.
They fit pretty well.
Here's another one. I have a few more that I really like. These are one of my go-tos. This one right here is a go-to. Holy crap, do I see these a lot in
that's good
a lot
lighting.
In a lot of illustrations. It's top lighting.
Yeah.
And it has a really characteristic like W shape on the nose and the cheek. Everything else is kind of in shadow. Like the eye sockets are in shadow, the bottom of the face is in shadow, and then you see a bit of light. Oh, that's cute.
I did see that earlier.
That's
Toby.
Toby.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Look at that one.
Oh, that's so goofy. So, another thing that you can do is memorize what shapes the shadows and light create. So you're like, oh, I know how to do a top view because this will be in light, this will be in light, and that's a specific shape, and all the rest will be in shadow. So I like to do that too. So this is top lighting, and I'm using the wrong one. Top. So the arrow for this one.
Do you ever use Clip Studio? Is it better than Procreate? It's personal preference.
It is personal preference.
They're all good. They all work.
Yeah, I've used Clip Studio, and I liked it. And then I switched to Photoshop because that was more industry standard. But either way, it works. So this is the part where you're going to have to understand the forms of the face and how the nose pokes out and stuff. So before I even add the lighting, I would even just go in with a simple wireframe. Be like, okay, what are the peaks and valleys of this head? I know that the sides of the head or side of the face is going to actually angle down. This is going to angle around, and then as it goes towards the nose, it's going to arc up, arc down. And so your shadow and your light describe this form, right? This wraps around. Here's a side of the head, which will generally be a little bit flatter. It's almost like thinking of them like little cut lines. So when you draw your shadow, you try to describe this as much as possible. And I just drew this in the not on a different layer, but that's okay. That's what I always do. Let me do this on a different layer now. I'll do it faster this time. That nice W or M shape, depending on the shadow side. There we go. And this wraps around like a sphere. And you can even go in like vertical. So like this is a sphere, this goes down. Goes in, out, in, out, in, out, and then goes back in, then it goes out.
Yeah, and you can actually see that. Where's the male head? Here it is, in the side view. If you look at the side view here, you can see that plane is kind of facing downwards, which is what accounts for this whole lip area being in shadow. You can see that the cheeks are lit, they face up. The lips and underneath of the cheekbone faces down, and you can see that matches up with this right here, just like that. So it's a very logical process. You have to understand the form of something in order to render it.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna go with black. Here's that nose. This is all in shadow. And I would keep my lights and my darks very, very simple. Like, I'm not gonna think about, oh, what's the bounce light in the eyes and what's the crazy deep ambient occlusion and little crevices and stuff. No, just think, what's the light, what's in the light, what's in the dark.
Yeah, think in terms of like notan.
Yeah.
Notan is a Japanese word that basically means like a balance or a harmony of light and darkness, and when you use it in art and drawing, it just means two values. It's basically a two value study, black and white, or white and whatever. If you're using graphite, it would be a shade of gray. And then within those oceans of light and darkness, you're going to get little subtle differences.
Yeah.
But you want to set up those oceans to start.
This looks a little bit odd.
Are you using a custom brush? Yes, you can get this brush for free on our website, drawanime.com. It's going to be the green button. If you're in the Discord server, !brush will have the bot send you the download link to it. It's totally free. There you go. You can screenshot that if you want.
Yeah, I'll show it one more second. All right. Can I find the small head mannequins that you use in your videos? We're not selling these yet.
Yes, these are ours. So we sculpted these in Blender and 3D printed them and then drew on them the faces. And we are going to be selling them eventually, but we're still in the test print phase.
Yeah. So we'll keep you guys updated as we, make more models and change things up.
Oh, good. Harrison, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we'll give you updates in the Discord server, and we'll continue to talk about it on stream as they get ready.
And then, as this turns away, this can get a little bit softer. So you can determine what edges do you want to be hard and what edges do you want to be soft. Generally, this is basically like a cast shadow from the brow ridge, and so those edges will be quite sharp. This is more like the form is turning away from the light, so these edges will be a lot softer. So I'm just gonna go and soften up these edges right in here to differentiate what's going on in the head.
Honestly, I should probably open up some sort of like a wait list.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like a head models wait list. We have a bunch of people asking about them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, so there's top lighting. One of my favorites.
That's a good lighting.
It's great. You know,
I love the way that the cast shadow traces the form of like the cheeks.
I do.
It's really nice.
So satisfying. You know, you can even find that in some anime illustrations. They'll make this part like very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you can determine like how big do you want this area of light to be. Do you want it to be very, very big, like this, or do you want to cover this up a little bit more and make it a little bit smaller, like that? Totally up to you. It works either way. So we'll keep it like this for now. Maybe I'll move it up just a tiny bit because I feel like it's a bit of an awkward form. Here we go. All right, and then I think personally the hardest one to do. Actually, we're not going to do that one yet. Let's do this one. Really common one as well for nice dramatic effect. Dramatic illustrations will have a lot of this, which is rim light.
And you know one
backlit.
Easy way to do this is you can just shade the entire face in and then erase out the light.
Yeah. In fact, this is probably the easiest one because all you have to do is just show one sliver of light and that's it.
And there's actually a really, really common problem with these that I can talk about.
Yeah, one second.
When it comes to rim lighting.
Yes, and I think I know what you're going to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. So yeah, you can just start. So one thing is, you can either start with your lights or your shadows. For me, I personally like to start with shadows first, and then I add in my lights because I find that shadows is what holds your image together. Lights, you know, just shows more information. Here, do you want to take over?
No, I'll just talk about it
okay.
A little bit. It's not like it won't take long.
Yeah. So you can either start mainly with shadows and then add your lights later, or vice versa, whichever you think is better for you, or depending on the piece. And this is where you mark out your lights instead of marking out your shadows. Oop, I think it's too big. So find out where your light is coming from the back, and then that one side will be just shown in light just a little bit. In fact, I want to make this just a little bit darker, more descriptive. And then to make it more intense looking, you can add that bit of that core right in here, so make that part extra dark. Ooh, fancy. And as Colton showed earlier, the core gets like a lot smaller as it reaches to a smaller area and more intense. And there we go. Some backlit with a bit of rim light.
So one thing you have to remember with backlighting, it's not just this crisp line. It's still description of form.
Yeah.
Your backlighting tends to creep over the form. It's not like this hard line. It's funny because a lot of students that went to the school that I went to, FZD, whenever they would do rim lighting, they would just draw like this solid line around the contour.
Yeah, I'll show you.
It looked really bad.
It's because there's no design.
Rim lighting is not just a single width, a single like thickness line of light. It's a description of the form. A larger form is going to have a little bit more. It's going to creep over a little bit more. A smaller form, it's going to creep over a little bit less. So you have to really be aware of your form.
Yeah, like they'll do like
yeah,
everything is just the same thickness. And it's
yeah,
just like
and like
an
you
outline.
will be able to tell it's supposed to be rim lighting, but it won't look very accurate.
Yeah.
So just be careful. How do you know where a core is?
We talked about that a little bit earlier on stream. If you want to go to our YouTube channel, Draw Anime Academy, we're live streaming there. You can rewind. But a core forms where the form turns away from the light. So the form is turning, and where it becomes parallel to the light, it's going to create a core. And then that is going to be where your cast shadow starts. And that is basically, you know, those three components right there. You got your lit side, you got your core, you got your shadowed side, you got a cast shadow.
I have a question. Go ahead, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
And this isn't a super in-depth rendering stream. This is just lighting basic anime heads from different angles.
Yeah.
Like, not every single stream we do, we want to get super technical. I feel like a lot of people like the technical streams, but a lot of people like simpler, more applicable
Demonstrations.
demonstrations.
You know, these kind of look like the phases of the moon, now that I realize it.
Kind of.
It's phases of the moon, right? if you look at a moon, it kind of shows you the lighting direction of where the sun is, right? So if there's like a quarter moon, that's looks like that. Crescent moon is where a little bit, it's basically like rim lighting, right?
Isn't that inverse? Oh, there we go, right. Is a quarter moon where it's a quarter lit or it's a quarter
I think it's
shaded?
quarter
I never
lit.
learned really the phases of the moon that much.
Oh. And then there's half moons, which
My
is
name's
like...
not Yue. Isn't that moon? Yue?
Yue, like
Yue.
Yueyang or something.
But I never really learned the phases of the moon. I just would look at the moon as I go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And fall asleep, and I'd be like, dang, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I use as many selfie light to dramatically light my latest sculpture. I can recommend sculpting to everyone. Oh, yeah. That's great.
Sculpting's great.
Let's see. I find that the most difficult lighting is this one. This one.
It's kind of...
It's so awkward.
Yeah, you really have to understand the forms and the planes of the face with these, because it's a lighting situation that you don't normally see the head at.
Yeah.
Which can be a good thing. It can be a good thing because it can help you think more graphically.
Yeah. Oops.
Dahlia didn't send me the live. Uh-oh. Where's Dahlia anyway? What's she up to?
I think
Wow.
I accidentally merged.
With the phases of the moon. When animes apply that lighting, it always looks so weird. It can
It can.
look
It's
kind of weird. We actually have a sticker in our anime art school that is a bottom lit. Is it Miko?
It was Miko, yeah. She had a flashlight. And it was
Yeah.
hard. It was very hard for me to do that
Yeah.
one.
Not with these, though. It would actually be
No.
a piece of cake with
It
these.
would. It really would.
Honestly, yeah, these head models are really useful.
Yeah, I should have, we should have had those way before then. So what I would even do is I would just mask this all in shadow. I wouldn't even bother with lighting just yet. I just wanted to mask this out. And then, you know, there's also like different kinds of bottom lighting. There's bottom lighting that's coming from like straight down, and then there's also bottom lighting from the side, which I think is actually a little bit easier to do. More, it creates more interesting shapes. But for this one, you know, we're going to go full beans, front, bottom. So let me actually do this. You know, the interesting thing is that when I look at this, I used to always think that the neck was going to be lit, but it's not. It's actually in shadow. Instead, you got the lower face in light instead. So I would even find different patterns, right? Like when it comes to lighting, there's light, dark, light, dark. There's always a pattern of some sort. So in this case, it's dark, light, dark, light, dark. Find those patterns, and then it'll probably help you a little bit as well. Hey, Dahlia. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this just in case if I mess up, is I will... The reason why this is hard is because it feels counterintuitive, right? When we're drawing faces and heads, like drawing, it's almost like seeing things upside down. I think that's why this lighting is like very difficult. I'm used to shading noses where the bottom of the nose is generally in shadow. But for me to shade the top of the nose and the rest of the face, is, you know, that feels unnatural to me. So that's why it's hard, right?
Welcome. Hello, Dahlia. Kudomi. Hello, Eric Black. Oh, I never looked at it like that. That's good. I hope that's good. I bought a Stars Hollow sweatshirt today. Very nice. Can you do a small tutorial to do a semi-chibi base, if that makes sense?
We could probably do that because it is kind of related to the topic.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a semi-chibi base, you mean like a head?
Like a head, or do you mean like a pose? Because like when people say base, they probably mean something
Like
else.
a pose? We don't really make bases.
Yeah, we don't.
We teach people how to draw.
Yeah.
I feel like if we made bases, it would be a little bit against what we do, which is like we want to help people create their own bases.
Actually, my chibi video's actually nearly done, so I'll be uploading that real soon, actually.
Yeah. I don't think bases are bad. I think they're incredibly useful.
Yeah.
I mean, in the professional world, they have loads of bases. Like almost every single project I worked on, like if you're doing costume design, they've got a 3D model of the character from the game that you're drawing on top of. Like literally anything and everything goes in the professional world as long as you're not stealing. Although I guess with the whole thing that happened with that marathon game, I guess stealing's okay now too for big companies. But you know, like, I mean, as long as you have the intellectual rights to something, 100% anything goes. But if you're learning, it can really set you back to have, like, crutches.
Yeah.
And we're an educational channel.
Yeah. Now, this is where
That
these
one
come in.
Pokemon card, huh? Was there something about, like, a stolen design or something? I don't stay up to date with all the drama that's going on. The only reason I know about the Marathon thing is because my brother actually worked on Marathon. And the reference sheet that the client gave him had a bunch of stolen art on it. But, like, none of the employees know it's stolen. They're all assuming that their higher-ups are sending them stuff they're allowed to use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you work at Amazon, you're not going to investigate whether the box you're packing in are stolen or not, right?
Yeah,
You
it's not
just
your
assume
job.
they're doing their job and giving you stuff that you're allowed to use.
So I think what's interesting is because this is like a teenage girl head, right?
Oh, that's crazy. They traced fan art and had to remove the card from the game. Wow,
Oh,
that's low.
interesting. That is kind of low. This part right here, same shape, but this one on here, it's like they're similar shapes, but this one's more spread out because there's more surface area. Because the nose is much shorter in here, this face
wild.
is shorter. You are coming soon. Oh.
I didn't do any Pokemon cards. I did Bakugan cards.
You did do Bakugan.
Those were fun.
ones.
Did I show you when I was working on them?
I only saw one, which was the Dragonite one.
The Dragonite
but,
one?
I mean, I think it was NDA, so I don't exactly remember. Let me tell you spooky story type of
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is basically horror, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. And you could literally just redraw the eyes and make them, like, angry. Like,
Yeah, let me do that, because that's always fun.
That's a nice lighting on that face, though.
Yeah. Well,
Feels good.
this is a sphere. So you're just showing that sphere with the shadows. And let me change also the expression.
That's good stuff.
Ooh, look at that.
What brush? You can get the brush for free on our website, drawanime.com. You can also get it in the Discord server by typing !brush in any of the channels. It's a great brush. It's good. It's a really, really good brush.
I love this brush. I use it for almost everything.
Yeah, like, brushes absolutely don't make you a good artist, but if they did, it would be this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be great. If we, like,
Oh.
sold this brush, which we don't, we give it away for free.
Yeah.
It'd be like, brushes don't make you a good artist, but if they did, it would be this one.
Is this sticky on the bottom? No, I think that's just water.
Do you have any specific tips for studying lighting on organic forms like the body? Yeah. Take a figure drawing class. Figure lighting class. You could even get something like, oh my gosh, there's so many ways
Here,
you can
I'll
do
show
it.
you.
There's so many ways you could do it.
So these, what we do in an anime art school, is we draw a lot of figures that already have lighting on them.
Yeah.
So find a reference pack that has like good dynamic lighting or whatever lighting scenario that you want for your figures and map out your shadows. Unfortunately, I don't have the rendered stuff here, but it's very much the same
For
thing.
the brush, if you want the brush, you can just screenshot this. This has the website on it. And look, I'll even put this guy's face right above that. Like, there you go. Drawanime.com. It's going to be the green button. It's a free download. It's also the linky on our profile. Yeah, I mean, a figure drawing and lighting class. Lighting the body is incredibly difficult because you have to know how to draw the body in order to light it. So it's kind of like, rendering is very difficult because it's drawing plus extra.
Yeah.
And drawing is really, 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 really hard to learn.
It is.
Which is totally fine. Like, it's fun. You could also pick up something like this. This is a Planes of the Body figure from Asaro, A-S-A-R-O. I think his website is like planesofthehead.com or something. But John Asaro sculpted the Asaro head, which is this head right here. Very, very famous. Many professional artists do a lot of studies of these. It's pretty much the gold standard in Planes of the Heads. And he also sculpted a figure called Planes of the Body. And it's a simplified figure that sort of captures the rhythms of the muscle groups. You could pick something like this up. We actually 3D printed this one ourselves. You can't get this one. But you could get something like this and light it with a light, and you could do a study of it. That would really help.
Yeah. I gotta check it on the rice cooker real quick. BRB.
Sure.
But like, I would say if you want to know how
Yeah,
to color
he also has a
more
female
illustrations-
one as well. What do you guys mean when you say dynamic lighting? I'm a little confused. Like, the light's at an angle that it creates dynamic cast shadows. So like static. Static would be like here we go. Static is like perfectly vertical, perfectly horizontal, symmetrical, right? Anything that's even, a circle, is static because it's symmetrical on both sides. So it's like static. This has to do with design. Dynamic, or as cats would say, dynamic, is uneven. So what makes something dynamic is unevenness. You know, angles,
diagonal lines,
asymmetry. You know, so if you draw like a pose and you want it to be dynamic, you would, you know, make maybe something like contrapposto, which is like
asymmetry.
The shoulders and the pelvis are at different, right? And you could go, oh, here's my weight-bearing leg, and then, you know, this could come out like that. Like, that would be a more dynamic pose than just this. This would be very static. And so it would be the same with lighting. It's asymmetrical lighting, dynamic shadows. The shadows that are cast across the body would be angular or more interesting rather than like symmetrical and even and all that sort of thing. But yeah, static and dynamic is huge when it comes to design. Is huge. And one's not bad and one's not good. They're just different. Like, sometimes you want things to be static. But the thing is, and I learned this from Wouter Tolp, is it's not that static is bad, it's that it's not very interesting, and it kind like people when they're first learning how to draw, they kind of default to static. It's like when you very first learn how to draw, your default is static. You accidentally make everything even, you accidentally make things symmetrical or the same length or the same size.
That's why a lot of people have a hard time with drawing hair.
Yeah.
It's because their gut reaction is symmetrical and static.
Yeah. And there's an entire science to it. Like, we've talked about it a little bit on stream before. It's one of our favorite things to talk about because it's so important. But dynamic versus static, it's like an entire science. There's classes on design that really break it down to a science.
What else should we cover?
But you can see here that these heads are mostly just two values. Like, obviously she still has the line work on, but she's basically got light, dark, a little bit of an indication of a core, and that's it. And you look at it and it just looks right. You look at this head right here and it just feels good. It feels correct. You look at this head right here, it just feels correct. Like, there's something about it that's like,
oh, no
it
questions
feels
asked.
legit. It feels right, yeah. And it's just because it's properly rendered and shadowed. Like, everything lines up. Everything works.
It's all because of these head models.
Yep.
It honestly helps a lot, like, because those head models is just there to show you information, right? And if you want like accurate information, you just look at one of these, light it up, and no one will call you a cheater at all, because if you're using
Well, anybody who calls you a cheater is more interested in ego than learning.
You know, that's true. That is very true.
And you'll see people come into the chat, you know, not naming any names, but it'll be like, can they draw those without reference? It's like, well, I mean, we're not here to prove we can draw. We're here to help people learn how to draw.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty big difference. You can tell when people come into the chat and they have an ego, because it's all about the ego. It's all about,
can they do it without
Can they do
help?
it, or what's the whatever? Like, I don't know. We're not really interested in.
Yeah.
We're not really interested in proving we can draw. We're interested in helping people who want to learn. But like, it's funny because it just doesn't have a place in our community.
And then what I like to do is then you can start playing with colors.
I always need a ref. That's good. A reference is not bad.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Like, I just literally chose an orange and a blue, and I'm like, okay, I'm deciding that my light is going to be orange and my darks is going to be like this more muted blue. And honestly, it's kind of looking pretty cool.
That's fun.
Because the lighting already works. You can already see things visually, like where's the light and where's the dark separation, and all you have to do is just fill it in with a tone of your choice. You know, this can be that works too. That works. That works.
As long as you have that clear separation of light and shadow, even the value's not that important.
Oh, that one's really
I was
cool.
taking a class by Craig Mullins. I don't know if anybody who knows him, but he's a phenomenal artist. Y'all should look him up.
He is the one, yeah.
He said, as long as the shapes are correct,
Yeah.
even the values themselves don't matter that much. As long as the shapes are right. And all, like, learning how to draw largely comes down to learning how to get the right shapes. Like, and by shapes, I mean the two-dimensional shape, right? That's created when a light hits a sphere or a light hits a particular form. So that, this silly little cat mouth shape or whatever right here, that's created by the light interacting with the form. But that two-dimensional shape, once it's right, you can essentially make it any color or value that you want, and your brain will still interpret it as correct.
Because I feel like a lot of the time your brain can make excuses. That's why dreams, you get really fooled by dreams a lot. It's because your brain can make things look convincing and can give you that argument.
You know, and like you could come down here, and get more. Kayla Okami gave me an idea. Right?
Ooh.
You could come down here and invert that from imagination and just go, okay, we're going to get some light there. We're going to get some light hitting here. You know, we'll get some maybe light hitting the upper lip right here. Right? And so now you've got a blue light from below. And it's lighting those planes that are facing down.
That's sick. And they also got light from above, I guess, too.
Yeah, you got light from above and from below,
That's
right?
interesting.
And that would influence all of this. At the end of the day, it would definitely influence all of that.
How do different nose shapes affect shadows? Do they change much?
Yeah, they'll definitely change. Largely, it'll stay the same, but yeah, different nose shapes will affect shadow for sure. And you can even get like a little hint of stuff going on in the ears.
That's pretty.
The bottom light is where I'm confused. Just below, I'm like kind of looking up like this.
Like the light is.
Yeah. But the most important thing, one of the most important things is I don't want to overpower the light on top with the light on bottom. So you'll notice if I take this, how do you make it black and white? Wait,
Hold on.
I have a feeling. Hold up. I'm gonna try something really quick.
Oh, this is on a different
Y'all are
layer.
gonna call me crazy.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do.
And then I'm gonna change this layer setting. How do I N to color? There we go. So if you want to make your drawing black and white, fill the entire canvas with black, change the layer setting to color or saturation, and you now have a little layer that you can turn on and off that you can check your values with. Look, that blue light on the bottom is not overpowering my light coming from the top because I don't want to mess up that ratio of light and dark.
It's so interesting because it's so intense, this blue.
Yeah. Well, blue is dark.
Yeah.
So I can use a really, really intense blue there, and I won't mess it up because blue is just a dark color. It's much darker than like the yellowish light from the top. Is it similar to grayscale and values? Yeah, this is just so you can see the values.
Yeah. So you can just check to see if you're not like confusing people with your values too much.
Yeah. Hey, it's Slay, but on YouTube. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Lila. That's nice. Is that your name? That's a really nice name.
Ah, I
love
like
that.
it.
How would you know where to place lights and shadows in different angles? You probably just joined, right?
Yeah.
We're actually talking about that today.
Yep.
So here's a bunch of different lighting angles. I just took these pictures before.
Oh, this one's very interesting because you got the eyelid in light.
Yeah. That's actually a really weird shape.
That is
like,
really.
You'll see that some angles are really, really unflattering.
They're very
like,
unflattering.
That's a bad lighting on a face, but you can still get it. So just because you're rendering something correctly does not mean it's a good design.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a photo and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool area, and you take a photo and you're just like, the heck was I thinking when I took this photo? It's so bad. Even though it's a literal photograph of what you were looking at, the photo looks terrible. That's this lighting. This lighting looks bad.
Yeah.
Just because it's a bad angle.
And this is where you can have a little bit of artistic liberty, where you can actually just.
What iPad model do we have? Like the year?
I don't know.
It's gotta be last year's because we bought this iPad for stream last year.
Okay, 2024.
We bought it for stream.
Yeah, we definitely got it.
And
for
we
stream.
started streaming just over a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, last year's iPad Pro model, I believe. If I wanted black and white, I literally combine all layers and use clip mask to add the black color. Interesting. That's fun.
Fun. I just turned my dot gain on, whatever that thing is. Like a
Dot gain 20%?
Yeah, dot gain 20%.
That's like
I don't know.
most common. I watch.
And I use Command Y for that.
Yeah, I watch so many tutorials online, or I go through so many classes. Almost every single professional artist who uses Photoshop uses the dot gain 20%.
It's just so fast.
Fang actually taught me the black layer thing.
Oh.
He's real old school. I mean, he's been doing this since 1990 something.
Okay. So I want to light this one right here. I want to make it pretty.
Different shaped nose tutorial sometime.
Yeah.
I really like different shaped noses.
You really like the Roman nose.
Yeah, I do. They're great. Yeah, we can do that sometime. Don't forget, if you like the stream, share it with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Don't keep it all to yourself. Don't be greedy.
Don't be greedy.
I mean, seriously, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy like Kitty Toby.
So what I would do is, I don't like this like straight kind of line. So I'm just gonna round this out a little bit more.
That brush is so nice, I want it. I have great news for you. You can have it.
Yeah, you can.
You can absolutely have this brush for free. AD Cherry Tree, go ahead and take a screenshot of this. You can go to the linky on our profile. !brush in the Discord server. It'll work in Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop, and Procreate. It's a Photoshop brush. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. There's hundreds of people out there using this brush now. Just because
we promote it a lot.
Yeah, we give it away.
Yeah.
No gatekeeping.
Nope.
Maybe a little bit of gatekeeping. No, I'm kidding.
So like I really don't like this weird area right here. It looks like a weird funnel. And I don't like exactly how like straight this feels, so I'm gonna make this feel a bit rounder. And I'm probably gonna make this shape a little bit smaller because we got one big shape here and a smaller shape here I feel like would look better. This is where things get into design, like designing your shadows and your lights.
So this has to do with that dynamic thing from earlier.
Yeah.
Like large shape, little shape.
Yep.
Like there's a nice breakup of it's uneven, right?
Yeah. And
it's uneven.
Personally, even though I see this little thing right here, I don't like it. And I find that
The lip?
Yeah, the lip.
What would it even look like if you added
It
it?
kind of looks like a milk mustache.
Does it?
For me personally. I guess actually now
It works.
like that actually does work. Never mind. We'll keep it there. I think the way that I put it
It's
in
worth
didn't
trying
really
it.
work. Yeah. Oh yeah, so simple. Light,
That's
dark,
cute.
light,
It
dark.
kind of does look like a milk mustache, but it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. And then there's a bit of light on the top of the ear. And the more you do these studies, the more that you can memorize like where these shadows go. So I've done a lot of studies, just kind of lighting different heads, and I paint a lot of portraits. So I generally know where most of the shadows will go. It just takes time. Takes time for memorization.
What does that say right there? Anime Academy. And then there's information on what the test print, but ignore that. Yup, Anime Academy, head models, let's go.
Now maybe we'll turn this into Miki.
Do it. You know I'm not against that. Hey, VOMJ Spicy Art, hello.
You know, in fact, I would even go in and make her look a little bit crazier. So I would. And you know, I shouldn't do it like this. I should duplicate. Duplicate. Now, and I'll merge these two. Now I have all these separate. So if I'm gonna like turn this into like more of like an illustration or like a portrait, I would try to keep this lighting scenario as like consistent as possible. And we'll make her go like this. So I'm just changing like minor details because I'm turning this into a Colton's character, Miki. And then I'll change this mouth.
Gangsta Fish, you don't have to screen record. This is all on YouTube. Draw Anime Academy is our YouTube channel, and every single live stream of ours is saved there. But you can absolutely screen record if you want.
Yes. So like this lighting will also affect the hair. So if I were to draw the hair on top.
Like if you just want this specific part, you're more than welcome to screen record. You didn't even have to credit us. I mean, it would be nice, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
This is what the YouTube thumbnail looks like, by the way. How to draw anime head lighting. There you go. That's our that's the video on YouTube.
When did you start doing YouTube?
A good while back. We've had a YouTube channel longer than we've had a TikTok. We just uploaded a lot more on TikTok.
Yeah. So let's move this down. Let's move this up. And I would treat the hair very similarly.
Earlier this year, maybe towards the beginning of this year or something.
I remember it was before the initial TikTok ban.
Yeah. Auri says, you guys are so cool. Thank you.
Aw, thank you.
Not everybody would think that.
That's true.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you had, like a tiger mom, right? And they wanted you to become, like, an engineer or a doctor, and, like, you would literally be the shame of your family if you're just like, oh, yeah, I stream on TikTok and draw anime stuff.
That's
like, some people would think that's very cool. Other people would think that's, like, humiliating. Yeah. I think it's cool. I love it. I love what I do.
I do, too.
How to be like both of you? First, you're going to have to shave your head.
And you're going to have to be Asian. I'm kidding. I don't know. What aspect of us do you want to be like? Do you mean like art-wise? Do you mean like personality-wise? Do you mean like what we do as a career?
Become Mr. Clean, yes. You got to be so stinking clean that you squeak when you walk down the hallway. Like SpongeBob when he had those boots. Does it matter what brush you use to draw this in? Could you use the gel pen brush? You can use whatever brush.
Use whatever brush.
It's value.
Yeah.
I'm subbing. I faced a lot of pain studying shadows. Thank you so much. You guys made the easiest tutorial ever. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yay! Yippee.
I laughed so hard. Vio laughed hard at something. Y'all low-key saving my future animation career right now.
Aww. So, I'm just redrawing this because I realized I didn't do this on another layer because I always do it this way. I always just draw over things and I regret it.
My finger can't team up with my brain. That's the difficulty.
That's why drawing is very it works both sides of your brain.
Yep. It's good for you.
What are those things called where it's like those activities that are called that really work out your brain and stuff?
Homework?
Homework? Yeah. So if I were to like shade this hair, I would really like keep in mind where my lighting scenario was. So if I remember correctly, my lighting scenario was like this. Let me just...
Someone says flip the canvas.
Oh boy. I'll try. So like my lighting scenario was this, right? So I'm going to keep that very consistent with the hair as well. So let me flip the canvas. I'm actually kind of serious. Kind of curious.
If y'all flip the canvas and it doesn't look weird, you have to subscribe. Ooh, that's fun. She's crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't look that weird, huh? Well, maybe the other ones do look kind of weird. We'll see.
Some of them.
Some of them look a little bit weird.
They're pretty normal.
When you draw symmetrically pretty often, when you flip the canvas, it doesn't look weird.
Although she is squinting an eye, by the way.
Yeah, she is squinting
an eye. She doesn't have both eyes open the same amount.
Yeah.
Guess everyone will have to subscribe. Have y'all tried Drawbox? I've heard of it. I know a lot of beginners like it. It's not the sort of thing that I would do for homework. I would take a mentorship. But I'm in a different state than a lot of beginners.
All this is in light.
Where do I find the brush? Drawanime.com.
Yeah. So, now my lighting is now consistent with my head.
On our website. If you scroll down, you'll see a green button. It says digital brush. 40K likes. Wow.
Wow.
If you scroll down, you'll see a green brush. Green button. It says digital brush.
Yep. And I'm just keeping all my values. I have my light and my dark. I'm not really deviating from that unless I really feel like I need to.
Wait, the brush is for Procreate? Yeah, this is in Procreate. We're drawing in it right now.
But you can also use it for Photoshop or Clip Studio. I don't know about Ibis or Krita.
Yeah, any channel in the Discord server. I can go type it in general right now. Just exclamation mark brush. There you go. Miki Biki Bot replies with the brush. I think I'm going to follow your YouTube. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Also, too. What? I think I said something weird.
Blush? There we go.
If you want to join the Discord server, you can also just get the brush in there. What's the best way to become a pro artist? I don't know about the best way, but a pretty darn good way. Think in terms of like an apprenticeship. Find someone who's at a really high level, a professional artist, if you can. It's hard to do. And becoming like an apprentice of theirs, if you can.
Take a mentorship with them.
Take a mentorship. Like, you know, modern apprenticeships are just called mentorships. Take mentorships with professional artists. Take classes from professional artists. Find a bunch of people who are currently doing the job, currently or recently, doing the job that you want, and learn directly from them. Yeah, we stream all the time, RJ, so welcome aboard. I'm broke, so I'll just binge y'all videos. I mean, that's good too.
That's also good too.
I mean, a job as a concept job/concept artist. Yeah, I mean, concept art is a designer first, artist second. So like, how do you get hired as a concept artist? You build a portfolio, a good portfolio. You show that you can solve problems. I did concept art for a long time. My brother was a concept artist for years as well. I was a concept artist for years. I worked on a lot of different projects, got hired a lot of different times, and I have a lot of friends who have worked as concept artists for a long time as well. And a 100% portfolio, you're basically just proving that you can solve problems.
Yes.
You're a problem solver. Someone needs a sick gate to a medieval city that opens. Show you can design it. Show you can think about how the mechanism works that opens the gate. Show that you can reliably do that job day in and day out without causing everybody else on the team a headache. Show if you want to do character costume design, show that you can come up with characters underneath of a spec. You know, like if you get hired on a game, you're not just going to be allowed to draw whatever you want. Like you're going to have a specification of the job, right? We are designing a magical forest that has really tall trees that's purple and it has green mushrooms on the trees. Can you design like 5 different environments to show us what that might look like?
There we go.
How did I get hired? Portfolio. I can show you my portfolio if you want. Here's my
Actually,
iPad.
I just charged it, so...
Yeah. I'll show you my portfolio as a concept artist. It's also on my art station. I haven't worked as a concept artist in a couple of years, and this is pretty disorganized, but basically, like, pieces like this. This sort of thing. Like, whoever sees this goes, oh, he can work within a grounded, like, environment. I actually got a job offer to work on the Dead Space remake, and it was one of the saddest moments of my life. I turned it down because we were doing our Anime Academy stuff. But pieces like this got me the job offer. Stuff like this. Build a portfolio that looks like the type of thing you want to work on.
Yeah, that shows your skill set.
Yeah, that's more of an illustration. This piece right here got me a job offer at what was it, Nickelodeon. I posted this artwork and I got an email from a recruiter at Nickelodeon. They asked if I wanted to do color for an animation, but that's not concept art, but this kind of stuff. Right? This kind of stuff. You can design within a spec, right?
Keeping things consistent.
It's believable. You've got this tugboat here. You've got tires on it. They know you can light, right? These people are catching monster fish. It's an interesting idea. Oh, they're using the tow truck for the fish hook. And they're catching these big monster fish. They're like these rednecks that live in like a post-apocalyptic world.
Dale and Earl.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, I have a solid understanding of color and lighting, and you can see there's subsurface scattering happening with the light shining through the fin.
Yeah, it's like, can you draw and can you design?
Yeah, and this is still a really rough concept. Like, if this were on a project, you'd then have to go in and design out, what does the inside of this cabin look like? Right? What is the cockpit? Because if this is a video game, your character is going to climb into this truck and catch a fish. Someone's got to design the inside of that truck. That's the concept artist's job. What do the levers look like? How does the thing go out? How does the fish bite the hook? What do they use as bait? Maybe they use, like, I don't know, like little ugly piglets or something that are like deformed because of like the post-apocalyptic world.
Radioactive pigs.
Yeah, like radioactive piglets or something, right? Like, that's the job of the concept artist. You are a problem solver, and you're simply using art as a medium to communicate those solved problems.
So Macy, did you go to college to get a degree in art? I've actually had another question like
Radioactive shrimp from Walmart. Yeah, I did see that song. I heard about that. Yeah, I went to a school in Singapore called FZD School of Design. Looking through the website and the Discord, I just in General 1, I just posted the link to the brush.
In our
You might be in the wrong Discord server, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Drawanime.com.
yeah, I have an education in industrial design, and I don't have a degree actually. It was a trade school, so we just graduated with a portfolio. But this is some of my artwork, right? This one got me hired. This was from a class, but like, see, here is the wait, what? But these are out of order.
I guess they are.
Hold up, one sec. This one, that one, and then that one. Okay. So this one comes first. This is some person climbing over the mountain. There's a trailer park down there, and a meteor has hit the ground. All right? A meteor's hit the ground. This takes place in Arizona. Next slide. You have walked down the mountain, and you're now in the trailer park. This is what it looks like. All right? Next slide. You've walked up to one of the craters that the meteor has hit. This is what it looks like. That is like a sequential... Your brush works in Toon Squid. Interesting. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. I think
That is the job of a concept artist. Someone's got to figure this stuff out. Everything that's in a video game has to be
figured out.
designed.
Well, how long did those take?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You were in the class with me. How
I
long
think
did
it's
it
like
take?
3 pieces, right? I think
Not that long.
you did these at the same time.
Yeah, like a day or two.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 to 8 hours each. I don't know.
This one I think took a bit longer.
Yeah, I focused on this one more because I liked that one. You know.
Colton works fast. There's also different ways to, that you can work fast as well. You can use 3D models. You can use some photo textures.
Yeah.
There's
And
workflows.
I worked as a concept artist for a long time. You get paid in proportion to how fast you work. So if you're getting paid, I don't know, $1,500 for an artwork, and you can do 2 artworks in a day, you can do the math.
What are some other categories of art jobs, like character art, concept art?
It generally breaks into, there's design and there's illustration. There's a lot of different jobs. Like, there's so many jobs. I don't even know all of them.
So many job titles and stuff.
There's a lot of different jobs. And the funny thing is, I'm not even very good as far as concept artist goes. I'm not well known. I'm like lower tiered. I'm not well known. I don't have a big following. Other professionals look at my work and they go, yeah, he's okay.
Well, how would you say the ranking is like in an isekai? Like a B, C rank?
If I were an adventurer in an isekai, I would be like C. Like a C or like a
high C rank.
There's like bronze, iron, silver, gold, platinum, mithril, adamantite. I would be like bronze, like maybe almost getting into like, I don't know.
Silver?
Yeah, maybe like 2/3 of the way through bronze or something. I'm pretty low. If that's your rank, then I'm below bad.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm, and I always say it. I'm not a high level artist.
Me neither.
That's why I'm taking classes to get better.
Yeah, we're actually taking another class for
Wow.
painting in
Most concept art is freelance. People do concept art anywhere in the world. Heck, Lau, if you want to be a concept artist, you could get good and you could move to like Canada or something. A lot of people from like Romania and South America and stuff like that end up moving to different like studios around the world, Europe, Canada, stuff like that. When I visited Volta in Quebec, like almost everyone was from different parts of the world. Haven't seen you guys in so long. Hello, Emmy.
Hi.
Yeah. I want to get better. Like, I want to be a respected artist. That's why
Yeah.
we're taking classes and practicing so hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you're bronze on aluminum, like, in terms of the professional world, I'm saying pro level, getting to where you can actually, like, make a living off of art is
His level
bronze.
is like bronze, yeah.
Like, I've made it to the professional world. I mean, there's a
No,
lot of jobs.
Iron, bronze,
Is iron
silver.
before bronze?
Yeah, it's gotta be, right? I don't know.
Let's just say like 10. Like, no, it's funner
like
to
iron,
do.
like I would say, like iron is like your hireable.
Copper.
Copper.
Copper is
no,
the
copper,
lowest.
bronze.
Copper,
Okay.
bronze,
Okay, so copper.
iron.
Copper is like you are hireable, but you're doing kind of like grunt work, and you're not really. You're kind of like a rookie. You're a rookie level professional artist. Bronze is like you're like pretty experienced, like maybe like 5 years, and you're not like a beginner anymore. You get to work on like larger things.
Yeah, and I mean, there's people who've never even worked professionally who are at, like, mithril level, right? Like, I'm talking about, like, the skill level. And there's so many different kinds of things. There's character designers, there's prop designers, there's vehicle designers. Like, a mithril level character designer may be like a bronze or copper level vehicle designer because they've never done it and they never even want to do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so complex. It's more than just like when I say it's like iron, I mean like I'm not that level at like character design. I'm not that level at I did props backgrounds for a long time. But like my main point is I'm really low level. But I have worked professionally and I can keep up on jobs and I could just maintain.
Colton, you're not that low level because you have worked on
100%.
You have worked on pretty well-known.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter
projects.
that much.
You get I'm talking about like the skill level, not the
Oh,
project.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, like, I worked on Anthem with Johnson Team. He's, like, super, super, super high level. I was really, really low level. We were both on the project doing the same thing.
And then you worked for that Scarlet Forest one.
That was fun. That was
That
my
one was a
favorite
fun
job
one.
ever. But, like, I want to be respectable. I want to get invited to, like, Lightbox and do a workshop and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, guys,
And
imposter
I'm
syndrome
just-
isn't just for beginners either. We also have imposter syndrome a lot.
No, and I'm dead serious, too. Like, I'm talking, like, there's people out there, they're so good, it's not even funny. Like, look at, like, someone at Reno Tuna's level.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or, like, you know,
John Park, James Peck.
Yeah,
Mullins.
even like Alex Brock.
yeah, like, you know, and even him, someone like Alex Brock's level, he looks at other people and he's just like, dude, they're so
The
good.
ceiling, so yeah.
Like, look at someone like Kim Jong-un.
Oh yeah,
Iron before bronze. Oh, interesting.
Iron Before Bronze. I think. Oh, that sounds like a fun title.
But, like, there's so many different kinds of jobs. There's so many different kinds of design. And, like, there's dimensional drawing, there's visual library, there's character design, there's animal drawing. Like, I'm dead last when it comes to, like, any sort of animal drawing.
Same.
Reno Tuna mentioned.
Yeah, Reno Tuna's super good.
Reno Tuna's
And I
like
bet
probably
you
one of the most
anything-
famous artists these days.
And I bet you anything, Reno Tuna's like, bro, I wish I was at XYZ's level. They're so good.
I know. Every artist has like an artist that's like that they really admire, even like really good ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
But, like,
Sargent, even the painter Sargent had an idol. What was it? Soroya?
I think
No.
that
It was
one guy.
Ja. For the J. Joaquin? I don't know.
Soroya?
No.
That's Soroya.
Mancini.
Mancini.
Yeah, what Sargent was asked about who, like, the best painter is, he said, like, oh, Mancini, or something like that. And that's John Singer Sargent. He's, like, known as one of the best painters of all time.
Kayla's been giving some pretty good ideas today.
Yeah.
Two glowing ones.
They don't call her Slayla for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you know how to render? I see all these pretty art. I want to render like them. Yeah. We talked. Do we have we kind of have a rendering stream? Why don't we talk a little bit about rendering? Like, this basically is rendered. Like, this is rendering. I thought we were going to do cell shading, but honestly...
I think these look better.
Like, rendering has to do with primitive forms. You want to learn how to render your basic primitive forms. Cylinder, cone, sphere, cube, ribbons. Learn how to render those. Render them a whole bunch of times. You can show it on the iPad Mini, like some of my lighting stuff, but I have to tinkle with
that. You guys are the artists that look to trust. Thank you, Slay. I found the right Discord. Where did you post the brush again? Sorry, I'm a little slow. Where did you post it?
It's just a general one.
Okay, general one. So yeah, this is the stuff that he's talking about. Oops, not this one. Rendering primitive forms, calculating their shadows, just like this. Doing a bunch of these. That's basically rendering in a nutshell. Rendering is just showing the light and the shadow and showing the different components of shadows, like core shadow, turning edges, ambient occlusion, stuff like that. And then later on you go into something more complicated, like adding some color. But this is all, it's not necessarily about the color, it's about the rendering and the values. So you wouldn't really be able to do this unless you understood this stuff, right? Rendering gets me stretched on many levels. Honestly, the more... Rendering is drawing plus more. Because you gotta know how to draw basic forms and make it look accurate. Or else rendering it will be a bit harder. Will be a lot harder, I should say. So that's why we always say that rendering is drawing plus more.
Yeah, you can't light a form if you don't know what form it is.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Love the concept of storytelling through designs. Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of like concept artists end up wanting to do, like character designs that tell you an awesome story. Mm-hmm. So where were we?
Rendering?
Not good enough for having imposter syndrome. That's funny. That's how I feel.
Yeah, if you found the right Discord server, I don't see any new joins. What's your username on Discord? Cherry Tree? Is it?
Make sure you're not an Anime Art Academy.
Yes.
That's not us.
Anime Art Academy probably hates us because we constantly have people joining their server asking where
the brush
is.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, yeah, they probably hate us. Or they love us, I don't know. Yay, free students.
Oh, never mind, they're not ours.
Shoot, I joined that. Yes. I'm telling you right now, open up your browser, type in drawanime.com. Not a Google search. Go to this URL specifically. It will bring you to a page with a bunch of buttons on it. You will see the brush download. You will see the Discord join button. You'll see some classes. Put this exact website in your URL browser bar.
Yes, drawanime.com.
Don't Google it. Go to that website specifically. If you do that, it will absolutely bring you to our page. That is our URL. That's our domain. It'll redirect to a website called drawanimeacademy.com/TikTok. And it will bring you directly to our page where you can get the brush. Mm-hmm. Don't Google it. Just type that into your browser.
Type as if you were typing in the Google website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to rendering...
Wait, one second. I want to add one thing.
Sure. Oh, I know what you're doing.
This first, but then... I don't know if these highlights will... these highlights are getting in the way.
That's kind of fun.
There we go. What did you think I was gonna do?
Something
a bit different.
I thought you were gonna add a little bit of bounce light to the whites of the eye.
You know, you can do that if you want.
Nah. Okay. So, wowza. Should I just merge like crazy?
Yeah. Sure.
And then I'll take this. What the? Oh, that's why that layer was on. That's fun. I like that.
I like it too.
But the color doesn't matter. It's important to understand that where you are on the color wheel is relatively... Like, there's just a couple things to understand about color. Blue is dark. It's always going to be a relatively dark value. This blue right here in the value is like right here. If I go over to yellow... Where's that pen? Oh, there it is. If I go over to yellow, this yellow up here in terms of value is like right here. All right? And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to take this yellow and I'm just going to draw.
We got it. D cherry tree.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
So you can give them the rule if you want.
Sure.
Okay. I got this yellowish right here. Okay? And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go all the way to the top right and I'm going to choose this blue right here. Okay? If I turn this layer on to make these black and white, look how dark the blue is compared to the yellow. So if I have a blue light, it's not going to light my form as much as a yellow light. Yellow's just a lighter value. So you can see right here. Now I could have a dim yellow light and a really, really bright blue light, but you can see right here, blue, yellow. And we've kept that hierarchy, right? We've kept that hierarchy. Where's this? What the heck? Oh, it's over here. There we go. That's something really important to understand about this, all right? Red is kind of in the middle. Red, kind of in the middle. All right, green, kind of in the middle. A little bit lighter. You know, we can have green up there. We can have orange. We can have purple. And if I turn these black and white, they all have these different values. Like, these colors inherently have their own values at their peak chroma, right? So when it comes to rendering, the most important thing, the number one thing is value. That's how you see the world. You got light, you got dark, that creates the illusion of depth. So when you're messing with color, you have to know where your color falls on that light and dark scale. It's really, really important. Okay. Now, rendering. Let me think. Is all this merged?
You just probably merge everything and just...
I'm going to merge all those, and then I'm going to...
by the way, AD Cherry Tree, I gave you the role, so you should be able to... yeah, you got it. So you should be able to go to the General 1 chat and then find the brush link there. Or you can just type in ! brush, and then you'll get it.
Yeah, General chat should have that right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm just going to shrink this stuff and rotate it just a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, nobody will notice.
Okay. So when it comes to rendering primitive forms is super, super important because everything's made up of modified, like, primitive forms. So you've got a sphere.
It's a very tiny drawing.
What?
It's going to be tiny drawing.
It's not that small.
Oh, okay, fine.
I have to. I don't have any room.
Yeah, that's right.
Sphere. We've got a cylinder. Cone. We can have a box. All right. And now what I'm going to do is just draw like a little ground plane here. How about this? There. So these are floating in the air above the ground. Just like that. Where do these connect to the ground? I'm going to drag a line down and I'm going to put the sphere in front. You thought it was behind, didn't you? I'm going to put the cone down there. Now it's in front. Or now it's right there. Cylinder, is it back here? Or is it in front? Cube. Where does that cube hit the ground? I'm placing my objects in this three-dimensional world. That's really, really important. We have to understand how close and how far things are away. Because if I have a light coming down straight from the top, then the shadow of my sphere would be right here. If I have a light coming down from the top, then the shadow of my cylinder would probably look something like that. The shadow of my cube would probably look something like that. Right? And then the shadow of my cone would probably look something like that. Really, really important. Mm-hmm. It tells you where stuff is. So the reason that we say rendering is drawing plus extra is because if I can't draw... That's a potato. I want to draw a sphere. If I can't draw a sphere, how could I possibly render it? If I can't draw a form and wrap and understand this form in three-dimensional space, how could I light this form? Right? If I can't draw it, how could I light it? Because lighting it is even going to be harder, right? And I go, okay, well, I got a light coming in, and maybe it's going away from me a little bit, and okay, so where does this hit? Okay, I've got a core, maybe going like that, and then this is going to be the shadow side.
Tablet recommendations?
Anything and
everything, whatever that you think works.
Right? If I light this from a completely different direction, if I light it from like, I don't know, this instead, then it's like, you know, I'm going to be having a core like I'm going to have a shadowed side kind of like this. And this top side is only going to get hit a little bit, so it's going to be going away. This area right here is going to be the part that receives the most light, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of this. And I'm going to get like a core going all the way around there, and this is going to be really close to being in shadow because it's almost parallel to my form. So like if I didn't thoroughly understand this object in three-dimensional space, I'd never be able to light it. And it starts with drawing. And so like with the anime heads, you have to thoroughly understand these forms in three-dimensional space in order to light them like this. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use reference to help assist, right? Like you could just pull up your references and help assist you in drawing that. But if you want to be able to draw from like imagination, you have to be able to draw in 3D space. You have to understand the principles of lighting. And now if this was, and then color is another layer on top of that. So if I'm going to color this, we could make this like, I don't know, a light purple.
What tablet and programs are you using for this, please? Also, great lesson and explanation. The tablet is the iPad Pro 13-inch, and the program is Procreate. Bye, Keela.
And so color is going to be yet another factor on top of that. And you have to think in terms of color temperature. You have to think in terms of bounce light. And what happens if I have a secondary light source back here that hits this purple and it hits it, and let's say it's green. Okay, well, green is going to neutralize the purple and it's going to turn it more gray. And we might end up having something like a really desaturated green. And let's just say we got like a green light hitting like back there.
Ooh.
And I should probably, I should have given this a background.
Probably.
So let's just take this. Let's get like a pretty desaturated purplish, and let's just go rectangular brush. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I'll just go like this. There we go. And then what we can do is just maybe create just like a little bit of a gradient or something going away from us, just so we can see the form. And again, like our form is going to come through just like that. And then this is all going to be in shadow. And I'm going to use a big brush to get in these main shapes. So like, again, rendering with color is a lot of additional steps. Right, you're probably going to get like a core in here.
What are you drawing?
Just a random blob.
Random form.
And that turns away from us.
Could be a mushroom.
Yeah, it could be a mushroom or whatever. So like rendering is drawing, or coloring is drawing plus rendering plus color. Multiple steps, you know, like that kind of thing.
But you gotta like kind of think of this as compartmentalizing it. So it's like the first step is the drawing, then it's the lighting, then it's the color.
Yeah.
And then rather than trying to think of everything at the same time. Like this, if you were to tell me to do this like immediately in a few seconds, I wouldn't be able to do it. I have to think about it.
Not unless you have a lot of
procedurally.
practice.
Yeah.
Because you can start to memorize the shapes of what you see. But it's like a very methodical thing. So like, you know, everybody who was here I don't know, like last week or whatever when I did this, it was super duper methodical. I never saved the layers because I always merge.
You can,
what?
You can probably show the video.
Well, it's going to be tiny on it.
Oh.
Where's the replay?
We can zoom in and stuff.
Okay, let's go find, here we go. So it's right here. This is basically the time-lapse replay. You can actually go watch it on the YouTube channel. But what the heck?
Over.
There it is. So I literally started just with that. And I'm like, where, like, there's the core shadow of my sphere. There's a highlight. I'm adding a little bit of grass. There's a cool light back there. I scrub it ahead because this is boring. I turned it into glass. Why can't I scrub that ahead, bro? It don't work. It's busted. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I just decide sometimes that it doesn't want to do that.
There it goes. You know, adding the box. What did I start with? I just started with the very, very basic forms of the sides, and then I added another light. And like, how does the purple light interact? Look, when I added the rope,
it just was flat.
I started with a shape that I thought looked cool. I added form. And then I just went, here's the light, here's the dark. If your shape doesn't look good, the final rendered product won't. And again, you can find this all on our YouTube channel. And then we res it up again. Because I have a bad habit of drawing too small.
Well, not your fault.
Yeah, you can see the whole thing on our YouTube channel from the other week.
How do you shade so good? Drawing good?
Lots of practice. Lots of studying. Lots of still life studies. I do a lot of still life studies. In fact, I could probably find that one of the headphones that I did not too long ago. Like, I'll draw things on my desk a lot. Like, I'll just look at my desk. I took a lot of... Here it is. So this is just a little still life that I did of my headphones sitting on my desk. And you can see there's a light that's above my desk that's warm. There's a cool window light from the bottom left. And this is just like a really, really, really quick study. You can see I didn't go detailed with any of the brush strokes or anything. I can't honestly say this took more than, say, 15 or 20 minutes. And it's just like a really rough block in. I do tons of those. Tons of those. Oh, you don't have to drag the line. It could be the whole screen.
Oh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, y'all know me. I don't know Procreate at all. It's very, very interesting, right? You have to understand where these end up. And then if there's a shadow above these, it's like, where is the light? Okay, well, pretty much this whole form is going to be in shadow. So all of that is going to be in shadow. This is definitely going to be in shadow. This is definitely going to be in shadow. My light's on my top. This is going to have a half core, a half in half shadow. This is going to be a tricky one, but it's probably pretty much going to be completely in shadow. It's tilted towards us, and I would say if anything, you might get a tiny bit of light right there.
Where's the light?
What?
Where's the light?
It's above.
Oh, okay.
So it's tricky to render a cone like this because the whole thing's just pretty much going to be dark. And so if I'm rendering these forms, that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to, like, in my mind, I'm going to run a calculation, and I'm going to go light goes straight down. Core. This is in shadow. This is in light. I could do that differently. Light is a three-dimensional thing, right? Light goes here. But say it's going away from me. So here's my 3D arrow. 3D arrow. Which means it's going to cross like that. That was weird.
How long did it take you to learn anatomy?
Shadow.
Years.
Light and shadow. That's like the simplest version. And as long as I keep the integrity of this, you can do all the fancy smudging, blending nonsense that you want. It's not nonsense, it's important, but like you can do whatever you want.
That's usually like the last steps that you do. So like blending isn't necessarily, maybe people like confuse blending with rendering.
Maybe that's true. Right? What's the local value? Where's the core shadow? And another important factor is how high is my sphere floating off the ground? If it's right here, I'm going to get quite a lot of bounce light coming up like that. What if the ground is like down here instead? Well, my cast shadow is going to be way over here instead. What if my ground plane is literally right below? Well, then my cast shadow is right here. So you got to think about these kind of things.
How do you know where to put the light?
Anywhere you want. I generally tend to put the light somewhere where I can see where there's a good split, right? So this is like 70% in light, 30% in dark. And it's going to look good. It's generally going to look good.
There's a nice hierarchy.
There's a nice hierarchy. And again, like there's so many different ways to do it. You could go, oh, I'm going to put the light behind and I'm going to have rim light. Or when people do like materials and like a substance designer, there's some pretty standard setups. Generally, you want a nice core because it shows the texture of the ball as it goes away. And a lot of the time, they'll actually put a rim light to pop out the edge. So 3D modelers, they like to put their lights like this a lot. Mm-hmm. Why? Because if they've just designed an awesome stone material in Substance Designer or Substance Painter, they want a nice lit side. They want a nice core that shows off the texture, because texture shows up in your cores. And they want a nice shadowed side. And then they use a little rim light to pop it off the background. And so you could do something like that. But in reality, it's anywhere you want.
I started treating light like perspective. I traced the lines from where the light hits back to the source to keep track. Yeah?
What else?
I started treating light like perspective. I traced the lines from where the light hits back to the source to keep track.
Yep. And if you're doing that, I've got a really helpful tip for you. Whenever I'm lighting something, I just create a 3-dimensional triangle. See? Here is my 3D triangle. And I use this to calculate cast shadows. So for example, let's just say I have a box here. And that's going to go off the page. Let's do it over here. So let's do like a 3-dimensional triangle. You can put an ellipse underneath of it if you want. There we go. That's my light direction. Now if I draw a box, assuming this is sunlight, if it's a point light, it would be different. I'm going to use this triangle, and I'm going to, I need to go freehand. Freehand. I can actually pull this triangle off of any of my corners, and that will be my cast shadow. Cast shadow, cast shadow. I'm kind of off the page. There we go. Cast shadow, cast shadow, cast shadow. Just like that. That'll give me my cast shadow no matter where I'm coming from. So let's put that back. And I'll just go, here's that triangle. Here's that triangle. I did the wrong direction. This.
Might want to move that over a little bit again.
Draw through.
It's the same triangle, right?
Yep. I'm drawing this line off of all the corners. And the side of the box is this line. And then there's this line, which comes down at an angle. So, zoop, zoop, zoop. And then all that's left to do is connect
the dots.
that dot to that dot to that dot, and that is going to be my cast shadow.
Very neat.
Just like that. So if this is my light direction, that's sunlight, by the way. This is not a point light. A point light would be different, which means like a light bulb in a room or something. This would be in shadow. This is coming in at a pretty steep angle, so I'm definitely going to get some shadow on this side. And there's a box with a pretty good guesstimation of a cast shadow. Plenty enough for rendering.
BRB.
Yeah, and if this was a point light, it would be different. You'd have to know where your light is in relation to the box. So I'm just going to turn that off and make a new layer. So if I'm going to make a point light, let's just draw like a 3-dimensional space really quick. All right, so here's like a 3D ground plane. Point light. Let's just say I have a point light right here. All right, that's a light. If this is a point light, I have to know where this light is in relation to the ground. Because right here, it's going to give me different shadows than if it's right here. Or it's going to give me different shadows than if it's right here. So, pull it down. Right? So my light rays, my shadows are going to come out in relation to this light right here, all right? So if I put a cube here, or let's just put a stick, all right? I'm just going to put a stick, a 2D stick. So here's a stick. I've stuck it in the ground. I'm making myself a, what's it called? Sundial. Sundial? Is that the clock, the shadow clock thing? Shadow comes out from there, comes down from here. This is my shadow of that stick. If I put another stick out of the ground right here, line comes out, line comes out. This is my shadow. See, that's a point light. If I connect these and this becomes a plane, these dots connect. This is a shadow.
So what is characteristic of point light when it comes to shadows? They're like really
They can
crazy?
get really, really, really weird and distorted. So that's a point light. Bye-bye, Lau.
Bye, Lau.
Sunlight is parallel. Everybody just renders sunlight as parallel. This is a point light. So like if I'm holding a flashlight up or I'm having a light bulb in my hand or something, this is big. That's really important. So if I have a box over here, let's just say I'll draw like a little box. And this box is connected to the ground. That's important. All right, let's draw through back sides right there. So a shadow is going to come off of all of these edges like that and like that and like that. And then a line is going to come from this and connect down like that.
Did you learn this in FCD, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I learned this in FZD. And there's that. And there's that. So my shadow of this box, I teach this in my rendering class in Anime Art School.
Mm-hmm. Which is 20% off right now.
20% off.
Code is 20 on the checkout page.
There's my cast shadow of my box. Shadowed side of my box is going to look like this. There we go. So this point light is casting shadows. And if you want to do like a bedroom, if you want to do a bedroom like this, that's exactly how I did it for all these things. Here's my point light. This is where it connects to the ground. Here's my shadows getting cast off of everything. And these shadows will crawl up and down surfaces as they're cast. And I show you how to do all that kind of stuff as well. So like all these assignments I give in my class. And like here's material rendering and stuff. But yeah, I teach you how to calculate all that. So whenever you see something like this, those are, look, there's that triangle that I just showed you guys. The direction of my light. And then I cast the shadows. And we start with really, really, really simple blocks. See? Here's it on cylinders. And I teach you how to do it on cylinders and spheres and cones. There's that triangle.
What about curved objects? Toby is here?
Curved objects? Toby.
Hi, Toby.
Curved objects, you would plot multiple points. Where did I put my... Here it is. You'd plot multiple points. So for example, if I had like a curved object, come on.
Are the classes self-paced or are the actual classes you have to attend?
They are self-paced.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a curved object here, like this, and this is casting a light, first I would plot this one.
Unless she means like a cylinder.
And this one. You'd get a shadow like up in here basically. And then you get this one. And then you'd basically create ribs. And you would plot each rib like this. Come on.
They really are kind of like vanishing points in a way.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough. Right? And essentially it would be like the shadow would look like that. I'm just shorthanding it right now. And the shadow would look like this. And then this would be lit from the back. Like that. You would plot ribs. This is kind of like your Scott Robertson, how to render and how to draw, right? Like if you do a speed form, for example, right? You would plot it with ribs. So this is like what we learned in FZD.
I want to move that over a little bit.
Right? You have a speed form and you would have ribs. Kind of like inside of like an airplane. And then this would be like that. This would be like that. This is kind of like your basic form rendering that you would learn. And then this would have that. So you'd essentially plot it out. This, if you're a student, you would actually plot all of this. I teach you how to do this in my class as well. But it's complicated. And so like if you have a light coming down, you would get like a core shadow along this, right? And it would be something like this. People get really good at rendering these things. I'm not super good at rendering them. I can.
Good enough.
I'm good enough for what it is, right? And there would be like a core shadow along this, and then you'd get, essentially like a shadow that would look like, let's just say it's kind of going back a little bit, right? So you'd get a shadow that kind of goes like that. This is speed form rendering. This is what transportation designers do a lot of.
You know what I'm just thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
It's really off topic, but I just thought of it. There should be an anime where in isekai anime or fantasy anime where all the levels, like the metal levels, are actually really hard to get. Like I feel like in these isekai animes, they make it like so quick.
Yeah.
For people to like jump up to different levels.
You need like a One Piece length anime.
Yeah.
In order to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
If you want to cast a shadow from a cylinder, it's going to have a rounded shadow. It's going to kind of look something like, you know, depending on the angle of the light, it's going to look something like that. And I also show you how to calculate that in the school. Essentially what you do is you basically just create ribs and connect the dots. So you would cast a shadow from this, you would cast a shadow from this, you'd cast a shadow from this, and it would kind of be like dot, 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 and you just create an arc between them like that.
Very cool.
And if you want more ribs, you can always cast more ribs. So if you want a dot in the middle, you can create as many ribs as you want in order to cast that shadow. It's just plotting. It's very similar to perspective. You use a lot of the same tools. And then, yeah, that's your...
Are you guys ready for a little kitty break?
Do you want a kitty break?
Look, because there's Toby right there.
Sure. He's sleeping?
Yeah.
He's going to get clingy if we wake up.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. No kitty break. He's so cute. Look at him.
And that would be your shadow. Wouldn't this be the same principles for rendering with a group of people with a central light? Yeah. I mean, if you want to have a central light and you want like a group of people, you would simplify the people a lot. So you have a light and you have people. I would literally simplify the people down to like this.
Masses.
Like if you have a single person, I would simplify them like that. And then it would be so easy to cast their shadow. There.
That's right at the edge.
There's your shadow of a person.
Whoa. That's kind of cool. That's a cool looking diagram.
And I don't like that tangent, so I'm just going to pull the person's head out just a little bit. And if I want another person, I can say, pull them over.
Could be a good album cover.
There.
That's cool.
Shadows. So again, that triangle is really useful. If the closer the person is to the light, the shorter their shadow is going to be. So if I put a person right here.
We have a side profile TikTok. If you want to go check that out, you can. I just draw an adult male and a chibi-fied, simpler female character for a side view.
Their shadow.
Yeah.
If the person is further away, their shadow is going to be longer. So let's just say I drag a person over here and they're right. Let's drag them. Where should I put this person? Maybe like here.
Further back.
I'll just put a person right here. Then they would have a shadow.
Oh, wow, that's very far away.
Right? Their shadow would stretch all the way up here. And you can plot the different points of their bodies. If you're concerned about, like, oh, where would the center of their mass be? You can just plot a point from the middle of them. There's the middle of them. There's the top of their head. So
wow.
I go...
Oh, that's so interesting.
There's a long shadow of a person. So
Whoa.
point lights get really, really, really distorted shadows very quickly.
It's very interesting. It's almost like point lights are like fisheye, and then sunlight is like a longer lens.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean you can put a shadow anywhere you want. You could, and I'm just dragging these people towards me and away from me, right? So like if I had a person right here, I would go. My lines don't even have to be that accurate. They just have to be like kind of enough, because I'm just trying to create the illusion of accuracy.
really good stuff. Oh yeah.
There's that person's shadow. So you see, it actually looks legit too. This is my light, and here's all my people in cast shadows.
Well, like, you wouldn't really be able to figure this out on your own.
You would never. Like
That's why mentorships and classes are so important.
Bruh, I would a million times over sacrifice the title of self-taught in order to learn something like this. By the way, chat, none of you are self-taught anymore.
Nope.
No, I'm kidding. I would gladly sacrifice the title of self-taught any day in order to learn this kind of stuff, because this is the stuff that's going to make the moolah, the money. This is your money-making stuff. This is the boring fundamentals that beginners and amateurs never learn. That is why professionals get paid a lot, is because they do this
over and over.
Over and over and over until it's literally just second nature.
What happens if you have multiple light sources?
You'd get multiple shadows. So if you had another light source right here.
Sad Boy Crumb says, no, my self-taught title.
Yeah. So if you had a second light right here, you'd just do the exact same thing. You would go zoop. Come on. Zoop. And you'd have a second shadow right here. And where those shadows overlap is going to be dark. And so it's going to be like this. Come on. So you're going to get that and that and that.
Oh,
and then where those shadows overlap, neither light's hitting. So like you have light A and light B. Where light B is shaded, light A fills it, and where light A, or where the cast shadow of light A, light B is going to fill it, and then where they overlap, you're going to get neither. So it's going to look something like this. I actually teach this in class as well, so you can see there's two shadows. You got two light sources. Blue is where the yellow light is obstructed. The overlap is where both of them are obstructed, and yellow is where the blue light is obstructed. And so, yeah, I do teach multiple light sources. It's actually quite simple. You're just doing the same thing twice. So, like, yeah, if I had another light source here, and it was like this, I'll do this. You know, I could do something like that. And I could have multiple shadows. That would be two shadows. And then again, this little area right here is going to be extra dark because neither light is hitting it.
It's like a multiply filter.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm getting hungry. What about you?
Are you?
Yeah. Toby. Oh.
Don't bother me.
Oh.
You're so tired.
It's cute.
Yeah. No, this is advanced stuff. Like, this is after you learn perspective. There's no way you would be able to do this stuff if you don't know perspective. Like, you have to be able to draw objects accurately in perspective.
He has awakened.
Right? You have to be able to draw objects accurately in perspective to even attempt this stuff. And perspective is like, that's a whole thing. You don't have to master perspective. Like, mastering something takes 50 years. Like, I mean, you have to be proficient enough.
Like, be fluent enough at it.
Yeah, you have to have a fluency. I would say that.
Guess kitty break time. Kitty break time.
Toby is walking around.
How are you, you little muffin bean?
You're so
Look,
cute.
rabbit. You're a little rabbit
Baby
now.
Face.
Move his head a little rabbit.
You're so happy. You're so cute. What is the best method practicing perspective? That's hard to go. That's a lot to go into right now.
It's a bit, yeah. Do you guys have any vids on perspective?
Let me think. Do I have a video on perspective?
Yeah, the fundamentals.
I have a video on YouTube called the
what is it called?
Fundamentals of Art in 2 hours.
Fundamentals of Art in 2 hours. You can look that one up on our YouTube channel, Draw Anime Academy. I also have another video on our channel called like the
You'll never see perspective the same way again.
Yeah, I have a video called that, and then there's a third video, that recent one, which is
The recent one.
the recent one, maybe the most important video.
Oh, maybe the most important perspective drawing lesson ever.
Yeah, although I changed the title, it just says
most important. I feel like you should maybe make a video just called the basics of perspective or something.
It does take a long time to go through.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good video right here. I teach a lot of perspective in this one. It's just I ripped it off of one of our streams. Come on. And so I teach a bunch of stuff on perspective, like fisheye lenses, rotating boxes, Krenz cubes, 1, 2, and 3 point perspective. It's a lot of theory. It's good stuff. It's not, you don't find it taught very many places, honestly.
Toby, you like that?
This is it's supposed to be an anime head lighting stream.
Well, but it's still lighting.
But like, yeah, like it's really repetition. You can do the standard like, oh, you learn 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, and do a whole bunch of scenes of each. 1, 2, 3. You can start with Krenz cubes if you want. So like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. And you could just do a bunch of like scenes, right? Like that's one way they'll teach perspective, is you just learn the basics. You decide on a vanishing point and horizon line, and you just pull a bunch of lines out of it, and you just draw tons and tons and tons of boxes until you get comfortable with it.
Do you have a video on how to add details? I don't think we have a video on that. I don't really know how we would do that.
Toby, you're in the way.
Oh, he's being his spoil. He's acting spoiled.
He's turning
now.
into a poppy. Look at him. He's laying on the iPad.
Oh my gosh, cutie.
Yeah, good boy. You're a little spoiled. Poopy boy.
butt.
He actually hasn't had dookie foot in a while. We can't let him know that though. Here, you hold him like a baby.
Okay. You're so floppy.
He is floppy.
You better not go Mufasa on me.
And you would essentially just draw a bunch of boxes. Like, do a bunch of these.
What are you doing?
And a lot of the time I'll just draw. Like, this isn't a lesson. This is just me explaining how a lot of people learn perspective. If you want to learn this, go watch my Fundamentals of Art in 2 hours YouTube video. Right? And you would do a bunch of scenes like this. That's 1 point perspective. And then you would do 2 point, and you would do 3 point. And I'm literally saying, like, you would do like 25 scenes with at least 10 boxes each. All right? So there's 25 scenes with 10 boxes each for 1 point, 25 scenes with 10 boxes each for 2 point, and 25 with 10 for 3 point. That's 250 boxes times 3, right? That's 750 boxes in 1, 2, and 3 point perspective. And you would use draw through, which is where you draw the back sides as well on every single one of those boxes. If you want to get started learning perspective, that's as good as a place to start as any other. When I learned perspective in FZD, in Industrial Design School, we had 2 perspective classes at the same time. We did this, and then we had a second class that was focused on object drawing, where we would draw single objects and we would mirror them across in perspective. So we started with just like very simple boxes.
What tab on drawing program do you use? iPad Pro 13-inch and Procreate. I think we got a question on YouTube.
Is there a point where you stop drawing boxes? Do you still keep drawing them until the heat death of the universe? I would absolutely say, hey, Kim Jong-il would draw. Peter Han was talking about Kim Jong-il, and even at Kim Jong-il's level, he would draw pages and pages and pages and pages of just box people. Blocky box people. So if he needs to do it, or if he still did it to practice, then I think there's your answer. That's not the only thing you would ever draw.
It's more like drills or exercises.
Yeah, they're drills. They're exercises. They're like going to the gym.
It's like practicing your scales for a piano.
Yeah, I mean, every single industry has its version of it. Like, you would absolutely get to more advanced lessons, but at the end of the day, like, there's also just Krenz cubes. Like, this is a fantastic exercise, doing Krenz cubes. You're just rotating boxes. That's another way to approach perspective. It's just Krenz cubes.
Best way to learn color theory?
The best way to learn color is to ignore color until you're really, really good at lighting and graphic design. And then as soon as you start using color, everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, how did you learn color? And you're gonna be like, that's my secret, I didn't. Seriously, color is so flexible.
Yeah.
You can use whatever colors you want as long as the value is right.
Now I know why my one class had us draw 72 boxes per perspective. We learned 1 point and 2 point. It's all practice.
Right? These are like Krenz cubes. No, learning color, you want to do a bunch of studies with limited palettes. Take it from like the old masters and how they teach traditional painting. If you want to learn color, you start by restricting yourself. You start with value, and then you slowly introduce colors. In art, less is generally more. Mm-hmm. Right? So here's like...
Well, like, people back then didn't even have a lot of the colors that we have nowadays. Like, they just had, like, burnt sienna. They definitely have black and white. They don't have, like, these crazy blues, or... They had very muted colors. Limited colors.
Yeah, and everybody looks up to them as the old masters, and so if they didn't need every color in the world, and then we probably don't either. Mm-hmm. Limited palette studies. Understand warm and cool. Like, understand cool palettes versus warm palettes. You'll learn that from limited palettes.
Understanding color relativity.
Color relativity, yeah. If you want to learn about color, I recommend buying a book called Color and Light by James Gurney.
You're getting me.
Color and Light, James Gurney. It's a classic. This is a classic book on color.
How do I put on a kitty cam? This?
Yeah, kitty scene. And then you go back to stream. You can't see him.
Oh.
Stream.
Right. So, like, this would be your Krenz cubes. I'm kind of doing them in an odd order.
8:18 already. Wow. I love that you have cat cam. Oh yeah, it's required at this point.
Yeah. For real.
Good boy, Toby. I guess he's done with being needy for now.
Yeah. Right, and you would build this all out into 90 degrees, and you would slowly rotate the boxes until you got to, so this one is front facing box, this one's 22.5, this one's 45 degrees, this one would be 67.5, and then you would come back to a side view like that, and then it would be the same thing just flipped. So you'd have 22.5, 45, 67.5, and then you'd come back to the side, or to the top rather, and then this one would be the same, 22 and a half, 45, 67 and a half. It's just quarter rotations in degrees. And then there's your bottom. You would do it this way. And then you would do these same ones. So you'd start filling these out. And you do these like drills. These are exercises. And you'd fill up the whole grid.
What about the corners diagonal?
No, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Fill up the whole grid. And what it ends up looking like is basically this. 9 by 9. Although I didn't draw the ones on the end here. These might not even be mine. Are these mine or yours? I
think those are yours.
Yeah, I guess they're mine. And you do like 20 of them. You do 20 of them. At least. I mean, you would absolutely not master it in 20. You'd probably master it if you did like 1,000 of them. That'd be 81,000 boxes.
That's sick.
Like, you'd probably get pretty good by the time you did 81,000 boxes.
You says draw boxes until the box you can rotate in your head is at full HD 4K.
Yeah. For real. And like, yeah, y'all want to know how I can set up all these types of scenes and stuff? Is because I can draw the boxes at whatever angle I want. Right? If I want to put a box here, it's just like that. If I wanted to rotate it a little bit instead, I do that. If I wanted to take that and then go have another one rotated off of there. And like, these are just like, you can modify these. Like, you could round out the edges to be more cylindrical. You could turn this into a house.
Is human perspective harder than plane shapes?
It's I mean, humans are very complex and they have a lot of moving pieces and muscles and stuff. So yeah, most people just break down the body into very simple forms, you know. A lot of people will break down the torso into a box, the pelvis into a box. You know, you can break down the head into any number of forms. You could just represent it as like a sphere or like a capsule. A lot of people will simplify the head as just a cylinder like this to put it in there. Some people will draw something a little bit more complicated, like that. You know, people break things down different ways.
Gonna try to do this for a year, once every day at least. Hey, that's a fun challenge.
That would be great. You'd definitely get a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Definitely get a lot more fluent.
Yeah. So anyways, oops, that's what we covered today. We covered a lot of head lighting, covered a little bit of form, shadows, lighting, a little bit of color. Color, as long as you understand that there's like cool and warm, you're good.
Yeah. Like, all I did for this one was I chose yellow because, I don't know, I felt like it. I just picked yellow and purple because I felt like it, and I knew that yellow was going to generally be brighter in value, so I made that the light, and I made the purple the shadow. And then for like the hair, for example, Miki's hair is like a dark brown, so I basically tinted I took like a base color in my head of what her hair looks like, and then I tinted it to a more of like a purple shade, and then for the highlights I warmed it up to so it looks like it's lit with a yellow light.
Gosh, bro, Discord is so
I know, it's
bad
so
with images.
annoying.
There we go.
No, we don't have any video on adding details. I wouldn't even really know how to make a video on that.
I mean, this is the thing about details. All right? If I draw a box, this box has no detail. If I draw a little box, detail. So like details are just large things smaller. Like are the same exact. You just do them smaller.
Hey.
It's all the same thing. I mean, look at like Ant-Man, right? If he shrinks down, all the details that you see, they're now like life-size objects that are large. So details are just big things smaller. They deal with the same exact principles. They're still cylinders, spheres, cones, boxes. They're just little. Is he messing around
He's
now?
got inside the box. The book box.
Speaking of boxes,
Should I bring him out?
right? Details. What's like a detail, right? You could be like, oh, this. If you want to add spikes around this, it's just going to be a bunch of little cones. There's detail.
He's purring.
Yeah, he knows he's a bad kitty. Look at him. He's in the box. Speaking of boxes, bro. Look.
Can everybody see that? He's literally sitting on our
What's
books.
this, Toby? What are you looking at? Is it Anime Academy How to Draw Characters, found on Amazon.com by Colton and Christina? How about that? Don't forget, go grab your copy. Go grab your copy. And you can learn facial expressions and a lot of other stuff. Like body types and proportion and character design and adults and children and different body types of kids and Krillin. Even though he's an adult just with a muscular child's body, I guess. Don't forget to grab your copy. You can learn how to draw. You can learn designing based on reference, loosely inspired, and literal interpretation. This is big stuff. This is important design stuff. This is like what pros use.
You better not scratch.
Like if you like Reno Tuna as an artist, this is what like Reno Tuna uses to design costumes and outfits, like inspiration and how to interpret those. Which book is this? This is our book. Anime Academy, How to Draw Characters, and there's Miki on the front. And there's Christina and me on the back. There's what we look like
Back then.
back then.
I don't have any bangs anymore. I grew them out.
Here you go.
A long time to grow them out.
I would still do perspective studies to this day, but like value is the most important thing so here's a little painting that I did recently. A really small thumbnail, and I've got all my colors in place, and you'll see that what's most important is the value differences between objects, the rocks, the path, the grass, the shadows, the sky. And then I did that exact same painting on a sunny blue sky day. All of the shapes are the same. There's just different, I mean, the lighting is different on the rock, but like the colors are different, the values are different, but the shapes are similar, or like almost the same.
You both still look young. Well, we still are pretty young.
We're relatively young.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you think you'll ever create a third book? Oh yeah.
Probably.
Just it takes a while to make, and we don't really necessarily have anything planned yet.
Toby approved books, yeah. Oh yeah. I've never taught this on stream before, really.
No, you never have. I
Cast
think it's
shadows.
really good. I like it.
I've caught like a little bit of it,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing.
Do you eat organic foods? No.
Do we eat organic foods?
Well, we try to get like some things that are organic, but organic's expensive.
I ain't made of money.
But we try to eat more like, we just try to have our vegetables, protein, and carbs, you know?
I try to keep each meal to a limit of 1 dessert per meal. Dynamic and static, lighting, these are fun. The iPad really does give this specific look to it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like drawing on the iPad.
Yeah. One thing that I do really advise for if you want to have like good, I guess, skin, at least that's what worked for me. I used to have bad acne. I used to have acne very frequently. I recently started switching more towards like olive oils and like not heavily processed seed oils. That helps a lot. And just that change actually helps a lot, skin-wise.
So funny seeing so many people per stream asking for the brush. It's a great brush, though. Great brush. For real.
We actually got a lot of brush.
I didn't even see that comment. Yeah, if you want the brush, take a screenshot of this. Drawanime.com. That's our website. You can get the brush on the green button there. The brush is like the controllable variable. Like, is the one variable that people can control. So it's like, I can't draw like her. I want to draw like her. I might as well use the same tools. But the funny thing is, professional artists, they talk about brushes all the time. They all know foundation is the important thing. So they're just like, yeah, we're all professionally trained. Okay, now what brush do you use? Because that seems really fun.
Because like brushes have certain effects, right? And they're actually really, really cool.
Like if you're a professional race car driver and you're talking to other race car drivers, you're talking about the cars. What car do you drive?
What engine?
Yeah, well, what engine? Oh, what steering wheel? What seat cover are you using? Because you all know, like...
It's like...
Everybody is at the same level of education in terms of foundation, so they don't need to go, what's the technicalities of how you drift? Oh, how... You know, they're interested in the tools. They're just like, oh, what setup? Where do you put your color window in Photoshop? Like you get a lot of conversations like that in the professional world.
Well, what application? We got a lot of app and material questions. This is Procreate, and we use the iPad Pro 13-inch.
But yeah, that might actually be it for today, though.
Yeah. They go buy the book once I get a new art commission. Awesome, you.
Core.
I like it.
I just got Procreate. Awesome. Well, you can give this brush a try if you want. There you go. It's fantastic. Totally free. Wonderful
By the way,
brush.
guys, don't forget.
Oh, yes. And if anybody here is interested in eventually making their own manga or webcomic and y'all want to learn the fundamentals of art, well, boy, do we have good news for you. You can learn it at your own pace online. I'm talking anatomy, clothing drawing, costume drawing, perspective, background, design, character design, all that good stuff, color theory, rendering, like in depth. We talked about a lot on stream today, but there's like an entire class on each of these.
Like
and it's 20% off right now until the end of the month. So there's actually only a few days left. Like, there's a lot. It's huge. It's like an entire college. We were showing some images earlier, but like, there's so much in here. Like, anatomy classes, figure drawing, all the muscles. There's just some of the stuff on arms, bro.
Bro, look at how much labels I have you do.
Yeah, there's a 12-week anatomy class in this school. Hands, bro. There's a boatload of homework because we all know how much you guys love homework because that's how you guys get better. Figures, lots and lots. Look at this. Constructing things from the start. How do you do this? I don't know. Find out in the school. Adding the simple volumes proportionally, adding muscles and volumes, rendering with light and cores, a lot of good stuff. Perspective, all of the questions y'all have in perspective, it's taught in here. How do you draw, stuff, breaking things down, drawing it, turning it into where the heck is that lizard at? Turning it into like a cute little lizard.
Cute.
This is a lizard that is drawn in perspective, starting with simple blocks. But yeah, Dahlia, one of our students. How do the classes work? So it's a one-time payment. You buy it, you get it forever. It's at your own pace. There are a bunch of different classes, like 7 different classes. You go through them. It's kind of structured like a college. You get lessons every week. At the end of the weekly lessons, you get a homework assignment. You can do it at your own pace. You don't have to worry about deadlines or getting in it on time. And then you go forward into the next week. There's 3 terms. Each term has a couple of classes. It's a foundation school, so it's like what you would learn if you want to become a professional. Like if you take like a college that's going to teach you how to become a pro. You got like figure drawing classes, you got lighting classes, you got perspective classes, stuff like that. And you go through it totally at your own pace. You can check it out. Anime Art School. It's going to be the yellow button on drawanime.com. You can learn all about it. You can download the syllabus. You can see video previews of each of the classes.
These are all recorded. They're not text.
Yep, they're all recorded. They're all videos.
Yeah,
like real time, walk you through everything step by step. Yeah. And so, if you liked the content today, you basically get like a ton of the same exact thing. But we can actually spend a lot of time. So like all the stuff that I was showing you earlier on like the rendering.
You want to like color
like
and render
this,
and paint?
I literally do this from a blank file, from scratch with basic brushes the entire way through. Every single brush stroke you will see in real time. Every single color choice. Right? This, one of Christina's designs for the class, every single decision for every single character.
Designing it was basically real time.
It's huge. It's the biggest like online school in this way that I've seen. It's a lot. I think it's close to like 100 hours of content or something. But there you go. There's a lot. And I even made these little box art. I modeled this pen myself in Blender. Check that out. Are you impressed?
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, we have these little box arts for every class. I teach you perspective, like thinking about environments, landscapes, backgrounds, how to break up environments and block out, things, simplifying plants. Christina and I take tons and tons of classes from all over the place. And everything that we learn that we really like, we include it in what we teach. Even to this day, we're still taking classes. Here's a boba cup rendered. No gatekeeping here. It's in the YouTube description. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get the link. So, there's the link on YouTube. It's going to be the yellow button, Anime Art School. And use that code, 2420. That is the code to get 20% off if you're interested in that. It ends August 31st, and we're doing a long live stream this weekend. There's going to be a challenge. There's going to be free prizes. It's completely free to enter. There's art supply giveaways and everything. This weekend, August 30th, we're going to be streaming for 10 hours straight. And you can come and join and hang out all weekend. Well, not all weekend, all Saturday.
Did you set up the class for the guy who made the...
Hi? I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you wanted to go to... I'm not sure.
How could I rewatch this stream? Our YouTube channel is Draw Anime Academy, and we're live there right now. You can rewind the stream. It's just in the live tab. But yeah, big long stream this weekend. Prizes, design. There's gonna be like an art challenge, and the winners are gonna get prizes,
goodies.
And it's free to enter.
Yes.
You can just draw during stream. You turn in your character design assignments, not assignment, but like your character design stuff that you do during stream. You can post it in the channel when we wrap up stream, and then we'll announce the winners later.
I don't think we'll announce winners during stream, but we'll definitely...
No, because we have to bring my brother in to help judge. What's the art challenge? There's going to be a prompt on stream. It's going to be a specific design challenge.
Yep, it's a design challenge, and I don't There's gonna be different ways that we'll judge prizes and stuff. Not
last
just
stream was Coffee Mafia. So these were the last submissions from the last stream. So Coffee Mafia was our last stream. There weren't any prizes last time. It was just a fun challenge, but there's going to be prizes this time. So these were last stream's design. Coffee Mafia. And the rules were to design a character or a set of characters that are in a gang or the mafia that's based on coffee drinks. So we had a lot of people who joined. That one was really fun. These were great. There's a lot of really good stuff. And so they're all like gangsters based on coffee drinks. There's Rat Kings. And they designed these whole character sheets and everything. It was really fun. I think 52 people
52.
joined. There was Meisels.
Yeah.
How about a nice old Joe Earl? It's dark roast assassinating Earl Grey tea. Yeah, there were a lot of good ones. Latte. This is in the Discord server. You can go down to a stream challenge with the 3 pencils and check these out still.
Oh,
These
I really
ones were
like
nice.
that one. Oh yeah, those ones are great.
These ones were real nice. Yeah.
I really like the one on the bottom too.
This one?
No.
That one's
yeah,
great.
that one as well. I meant like the post on the bottom.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
This one was
really
real nice. I loved that one. Look at those. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, you can check these out in the Discord server. They're still up. That's a nice one.
Very alluring.
But yeah, it's our first time trying a
challenge and
Oh, there's
also a
Zico's
contest. Oh yeah, that's
I
why
love that one.
That's why I wanted to drink that frappuccino. It's because of that post.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. There's Laos. But yeah, we'll announce the new challenge when the stream begins. That one was fun.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
And it's going to be Saturday. So, Saturday, August 30th, and we're going to start streaming around 11 a.m. Pacific. Do you have to be one of the students to enter the challenge? No.
Nope.
When is your next live? I don't know. Probably
Friday.
either Thursday or Friday. Either tomorrow or Friday. And we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff during stream. What are we going to be doing during stream anyways?
Drawing OCs probably.
Doing a lot of OC
Lessons.
drawing.
I don't know what other cool events. Probably speed draw, but maybe I don't know, maybe. We'll have to think about it. I feel like the main event is going to be that contest, which people are going to really like draw a lot for.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually quite excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Are you ever going to do Challenge Fridays again? Probably not. We're doing challenges. Like this challenge is going to be on Saturday, but we're not going to go back to how we used to run challenges. We're doing new things now, trying different stuff. OC giveaway.
Oh.
We
like
need to start a list of things to do during stream.
Yeah. We still got that ramen that we never had. The spicy ramen.
Oh, the Korean noodle stuff?
OC giveaway? That's not a bad idea.
No, it's free to enter. It will be free to enter on Friday. Or on Saturday, rather.
Yep.
When will the stream start on Saturday? Yeah, it's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific. That's usually when we start when we do long streams. Well, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
We are going to wrap it up. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for showing up and hanging out. We did cover a lot today.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it. It was really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't forget, join the Discord server if you want to hang out. And the challenge submissions on Saturday are going to be submitted via the Discord server. I'll join Saturday. Awesome. That'll be fun. Good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you either tomorrow or Friday. Bye-bye. And YouTube will catch you later as well. Bye-bye.